Hello YouTube, and welcome everybody on Twitch as well. I don't know if anybody's on there right now, but welcome to our very first unplanned live stream for 2018. I hope that everybody had a fantastic and wonderful Christmas, and that everybody's New Year's celebration was both safe and enjoyable. So, what do we got going on today? First of all, I'm trying to get everything organized here, and don't mind me because I'm getting a little lost. I need to close some stuff. Actually, my frame rate seems to be doing alright at the moment, so I can probably keep this open. We got 22 folks on here already, which is fantastic. I love it when we get a bunch of people on here. It doesn't look like anybody's over on Twitch right now, but I'm, actually that's not true. It's, Irish Gaming Guys is over there right now. Hey Irish, how you doing, buddy? Great to see you here. Happy New Year to you as well. Brandon Shaw over here on YouTube. Good morning, Brandon. Great to have you here. First Officer Chris. Yeah, I probably should fly into the Northeast, but I'm not going to today. And Captain Jacobs from South Africa. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Great to have you here. Thanks for joining me. So what do we got going on today? Here's what we're doing, guys. I don't know if you read the description down there. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Most people don't pay a whole lot of attention to what I say or write down there anyway, so don't worry, I'm used to it. It's not a big deal. But a friend of mine, so this is the TFDi 717, and of course everybody knows that by now. You probably saw that in the video description or title or whatever. And this was released quite a while back, last year, and I spoke with TFDi and did the official promotional video for this aircraft, which I was really excited about. I was really humbled and touched by TFDi wanting me to do that. They gave me the aircraft sort of as I guess you could say payment for doing that is probably the right term. Maybe it's not, I don't know. But either way, it was really an awesome stepping stone for me, getting an opportunity to do an official promotional video. The only thing I think that bums me out about it is it's not on their website. So the only place you really see the official promotional video for the TFDi 717 is on my YouTube channel, and you know, about 600 something people have watched that, and that's it. It's sort of one of those things with my cinematic videos where they don't seem to get a whole lot of attention, which it's kind of a bummer because I really enjoy making those, and I think they look fantastic, and they're a lot of fun, but they're also a lot of work. So either way, it's not a complaint, just a statement there. But a friend of mine, Jerry over at Mirage, and I'm really hoping Jerry hops on today, but if he doesn't, that's alright. I know he'll catch the video. He asked me to do a full flight tutorial in this aircraft, and what's crazy is the last time I flew this airplane was when I flew it to create that promotional video, right? The promotion for the release of the aircraft. That was the last time I flew it. So obviously I need to spend a little time in this airplane before I can create a full flight tutorial, and that's what I was going to do today. And I do this pretty much all the time. When I'm going to do a full flight tutorial, I do at least one flight in the aircraft where I go from start to finish. Alright, you have to go shovel the driveway, Chris? Okay, have fun. And so that's what we're doing today. So, again, it's an unplanned live stream, guys. It's something I'm starting to do a little more. I really enjoy the interaction. And I thought you guys might really like to just get an opportunity to sort of see the process. This is not really a tutorial for you guys, although I'm going to try and sort of talk through what I'm doing and stuff, but it's not a tutorial. This is a tutorial for me. This is my opportunity to go through all the systems, to find all the buttons and switches. So what you're going to see in this live stream today, and I just want to prepare you in advance, you're going to see me staring at panels for friggin' 10 minutes going, where's this button at? Okay? That's what I have to do in order to create a full flight tutorial, because when I create that tutorial, I don't want to have to spend all that time looking for it. I want to be able to show you guys where it's at so you don't have to look for it. And some of you are probably very familiar with this aircraft, and so what I don't want is I don't want people to get frustrated thinking, oh, he doesn't even know what he's doing, because I don't know what I'm doing. That's the whole point here, is I need to learn how to fly this airplane. And that's what we're going to do today. So I hope that you guys are excited about doing that with me. I thought you guys might like to see that. That's something I'm going to sort of do this year. is in a few different areas. I'm going to run live streams that are going to sort of show you some of the behind the scenes stuff. I've got a really cool now my brain doesn't want to work. A really cool cinematic I'm putting together. I won't reveal what it is yet. I'm going to save it for a surprise. And I was thinking that when it comes to time to start editing that video, that I might spend some time on a live stream showing you guys the editing process and everything that goes into that and whatnot, and sort of it'd be a behind the scenes and a bit of a sneak peek of what that video is going to be like. So really excited about that, and I'm just excited about the year ahead, guys. I really am. We've been very blessed in my house. Last year we had some rough times last year, but overall, you know, God took really good care of us, and He really brought us through the end of the year in fantastic style, and so I'm very grateful for that, and really looking forward to what He has in store for 2018, and so I hope that you guys are as well. And I think that's about it. So let's just go down the list here a little bit further. So Hobbit Airlines is on here. Good morning, sir. Great to have you here. TG Determined, great to have you here as well. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you, Captain Jacobs, and Happy New Year to everybody, by the way. Good morning, Dylan. How are you? Chris is out shoveling the driveway. I have to kind of laugh about that. Dylan, you know what? I'm doing fantastic. It's going great. How about yourself? And I Prank You is on here. Great to have you here, buddy. Hello. And Irish is over on Twitch, so we're streaming on YouTube and Twitch at the same time. I've got quite a few more followers on Twitch lately, so I want to make sure that we stream over there as well. And I've got Irish Gaming Guys over there. Fantastic supporter of the channel. Irish Gaming Guys has been supporting my channel for a long time. In fact, a lot of times he hosts my live streams on his channel as well, so just want to send a special thank you over to him. If you guys have followed me on Twitch and you want to hop over on Twitch real quick and say hi to Irish Gaming Guys and say thank you to him, I'd appreciate that. The renovations are still ongoing, Irish, so we got the floors mostly done. I still got to do some trim work on them, but they look fantastic, and we got a lot of stuff we're going to do over the next few years, so looking forward to that. And yeah, that's about the sum of it, guys. Mark Wasick, hi, how are you? Great to have you here. So it's looking pretty good, guys. We got 28 folks watching here on YouTube right now. We've got Irish over on Twitch watching, so we got a good showing here, and it's fantastic. So what do you say we hop on the flight deck here, because it gets a little loud. Again, this is FSX, so TFDi has not released this aircraft for P3D yet, and I'm looking forward to when they do. I think that'll be fantastic, and I'd really like to get it into P3D and fly it. But interestingly enough, you know, I've been having a couple of funky issues with P3D lately. It's just not as it's not running as smooth as I'd like it to. And then of course we've had the issues when running live streams where our frame rates really are getting just really crummy as we continue through a live stream, and still haven't really figured out what that is. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen today, but we'll see how it goes. So all right, guys, let's get this started here. 717 works for P3D fine for you. I'm talking P3D version 4, Brandon. So being that it's 64-bit, they have to make some changes to it before they can release it. You have it in V4? Did they release it for V4 already? I thought it was still. I thought they were still holding off on that release. That's interesting. Dylan, how's my life been so far? Well, I'm not going to tell you guys how old I am. I'll let you guess, but overall, my life's been pretty darn good. I really can't complain. I'm sure that's not quite how you meant that question. Things are going really good, though. Things are going fantastic. Like I said, God's really blessed us, and I'm really grateful for everything that He's been doing in our lives. And so I'm just looking forward to what the next year has in store for us. I think that's going to be fantastic. So, Mark, you say you have it for V4. You know, if it's released for V4, I guess I just missed that. But I don't have the money to pick it up for V4 yet anyway. So TFDi again they were kind enough to give me this aircraft for FSX when I made the promotional video for it, but I don't think that it would be maybe appropriate to go to them and say, hey, you want to give me the P3D version 4 version of this aircraft? That might be asking a bit much, right? So okay, our flight today, guys, is going to be from San Diego, or not from San Diego, it's going to be to San Diego from Phoenix, and this is probably the flight I'm going to do for the full flight tutorial, which you should see out hopefully this weekend. We'll see how that goes, but you know, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I got distracted by a comment over here. Greg Joyner says it's free. You can sign up for beta. For the TFDi 717, Greg, you can sign up for a free version, a free beta version for P3D version 4. Boy, I'm behind the times here, guys. How'd I get lost so quick? Oh, man. Yeah, you know what? Being that I own this aircraft, I wonder if I could just download the installer again and install in P3D version 4. Maybe I could try that out. But today we're going to fly it in FSX anyway because we're already set up here. I don't see any reason to shut down FSX and start up P3D version 4. We can still fly FSX. It's still the program that it's always been. So we know it's got its drawbacks, but you know, we're going to give it a go anyway and see how things work out today. You know, Eric was telling me about True Glass. I've never really looked into it, so I don't really know what it is, but he says it's amazing. So, you know, I've got the TFDi manager up over here. Now, you guys won't be able to see this, I'm certain, because of the way, yeah, so you can't see this right now. But under installation, it doesn't give me, for Lockheed Martin Prepared 3D version 4, it just says coming soon for the install option. It doesn't give me the option to install it. I can uninstall from FSX, I can install for FSX Steam Edition, and then for Prepared 3D version 4 it says coming soon, and then I've got it says install for Prepared 3D version 2 and 3, neither of which I use. So not really sure about that. Pinball, hi, out in Italy. Hi from Phoenix, that's where I'm at. That's also where I'm flying out of, so great to have you here. Yeah, so again, both Trevor and Greg, my TFDi manager doesn't give me that option. It just says coming soon. Okay, Greg, yeah, maybe I'll hit you up or I'll hit Eric up. I've got him on text message, so I can probably just ask him. Go to the website and sign up, Eric. Okay. Yeah, actually, so Trevor, maybe I have the old manager. I don't know. I updated the manager before I started this this live stream, so not really sure about that. It should be the current one, but I don't know. Live full flight tutorial. Yeah, kind of, Hussein, but it's going to be a little messy, and I think maybe we need to dive in here. So what happens if you crash on a stream? Then we crash. I've never had that happen, so I try to fly somewhat realistic, you know, as much as possible anyway, and so, you know, we don't mess around and take chances and do things that cause us to crash. So I haven't had that happen. All right, what do you say we dive in here, guys? Looking at the documentation provided by TFDi. The first thing we need to do when we jump in here, we set the fuel and the payload in the TFDi design add-on manager. So I've actually already done that, and I suppose you guys are probably pretty familiar with it from the sound of what we got on here. Most folks are used to this. Now, when I do the full flight tutorial, I will show this manager, but I'm not going to show it here on the live stream. It's kind of pointless, to be honest with you. It takes a little work to get the window to show up, but I've already gone ahead and set the fuel, and I'm sending it to the sim right now along with the payload. So both of those are sent in. You might have seen the aircraft shift just a little bit, and that was me sending the fuel and the payload over there. You can also find your documentation in the add-on manager, which is, I think, fantastic. Excuse me. You know, it keeps you from digging around for it. So we've got that done. We should have the proper fuel and payload in here now. And so what we want to do next is connect the GPU. So jumping in here, connecting the GPU, we want to set the park and brake. That's this guy right here. So that's set and that's not set, right? So just pop it, or left click to pop it up, and that sets the parking brake. And then set the battery to on, and then retrieve your tablet. So jumping up top here, here's our electrical. I'm assuming this is the main battery here. Yep, there we go. So battery's on. So you can't really see that it says battery behind it when it's off. But there we've got it on, and then it says retrieve your tablet. So if I click on the tablet, it doesn't pop up or anything. So I've gone ahead and created a key here with my chase plane that takes me to it. And then you click on it, and you should have these four options here. If you don't, say you're in this page, just click the X in the top right corner and it should take you to here. And we want to go to exterior, and we want to click on ground power unit, and that's going to connect to ground power. It's as simple as that. And then once we've done that, let's see. The annunciator above external power should illuminate with available. So then we hop back up here. There you go. Sure enough, it illuminates with available. So we go ahead and we click on external power, and you start hearing some stuff come on in the background. It says to set galley power to on. Galley power should be out there. It is right there. All right, so this is the process, guys. I gotta find this stuff, right? So the idea is that I know where everything is by the time I do a full flight tutorial, so that I don't stumble around too much. And I always forget where stuff is anyway. And then now it tells us to start the APU. Now I find that a little interesting that it wants us to start the APU right away, considering that we've got ground power on. I always thought that was a little strange, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do it that way for now. So actually no, I don't think we're going to do that, because it looks like it's just which option do you want? You want to run the APU or you want to run the GPU? And I think we're going to stick with the GPU just for the moment, because this is going to take a while and I don't want to burn up all that fuel. So let me get that page out of the way. It says the displays take a couple minutes to power on. So you can see there's no displays yet, because they take a couple minutes to power on. It says they take roughly 2 minutes to power on. So let's see that, shrink that out or make it disappear for now, just so that we can see everything. So that's the stick shakers going through their self-test in the background, and there should be a self-test going for the integrated standby instrument system, which is this guy down here. So all of that is doing what it should right now. And so that takes us to our lights. So we need to set nav lights, logo lights, and then left and right ground floodlights need to come on, and there's your displays coming on as well. So coming back up here, here's your ground floodlights. Left and right need to be on. There you go. Nav lights need to be on. And then logo lights, not that it's really going to matter because it's daytime, but logo lights on as well. And then make sure that the beacon light, nose light, landing lights, and high intensity lights are off. So here's your landing lights, your nose light, your beacon light, and your high intensity lights. Those are all off. Now it's my understanding that high intensity lights are essentially your strobes, right? So not sure why they use different terminology, but whatever, there you go. And then as required, dome lights, overhead lighting, instrument and panel lighting, and thunderstorm lighting. So we don't really actually need any of those right now, but I do usually like to take this opportunity and just kind of look. So here's our overhead panel and floodlights, right? So the back knob is the panel backlighting. You see it gets a little brighter back there, right? And then the front knob, or the little black, well, I was going to say the little black knob should be the floodlighting, but I'm not getting anything with that. So, and then instrument, panel, and flood down here. So maybe there's no floodlights in it, I don't know. And then you would click, the dome light can click on and off like that, and then thunderstorm lights. I don't really know what thunderstorm lights are for. Does anybody here know? What do we got going in the comments here? Famous last words. It never happened. Hey, Captain United's here. Great to have you here, buddy. Nice to see you here. Hussein, yeah, we can hop outside here in a second and look at it. I'm just running the TFDi default livery. I don't have any liveries installed for this right now. So if you jump back to the beginning of the stream real quick, you'll see we were sort of flying around on the outside of the aircraft and had a view there. Let me jump over to Twitch here real quick, because we got a few more folks on here actually, which is pretty cool, because we usually don't get a lot of people on here for some reason. Slow Death 77. It's from Turbofan Dude on the 717 forums. Welcome to the forums and the 717. You can obtain the beta free of charge at any point should you wish to try it in V4 now via our main website. We're working to resolve a few very specific issues for V4 before it will be available fully to the public. However, many users are enjoying it in V4 now. Thank you, Slow Death. I appreciate that. Nick333, hello. Great to have you here. Mr. Fuya, I think is how you say that. How are you? No, there's other liveries for it out there, Nick. You just have to look around for them. But yeah, I don't think there's any official ones. So An Irish gaming guys, he says I'm always here. Real quick, just while we're sitting here, so the sound will go quiet for a second. I'm just going to actually go to TFDi's website here. And let's see. So if I go to their homepage here, let's see, it says obtain the beta free of charge at any point should you want to try it via our main website. So it's approaching 1.1. Read more. So where am I going to download this at? That's a blog there. That's not what I'm looking for. So I'm just trying to see on the main website here where I can opt in, because maybe I can actually do the full flight tutorial in P3D version 4. Oh, Master Chief Hooyah, there you go. Okay. Oh, sorry. I gotta log into my account. I don't know if you guys can't see that, can you? Probably shouldn't. Okay. So where do I opt in here, guys? I'm looking on the TFDi website right now. Let's see. Active products. Ah, there's dog. I thought maybe that was you, dog tag. Okay. So slow death, where do I go on here? Help me out. Help me out over here. Fly in Hawaii sometime on VATSIM. I don't know. I'm still really wary about using VATSIM, guys. View all. So the only product I have right now is the 717 for FSX. So where do I go on here, guys, to register for or whatever for the beta? I mean, this is a live stream. This is about learning. So, you know, for anybody who's watching this as a video right now going, what are we doing? What I'm doing is trying to figure out how to get this in version 4 because you can get the beta for free. So somebody help me out. I'm not getting anything. Nobody's saying anything about it. It just says you. Greg is saying you sign up, and the TFDi manager will download. Slow Death 77. So I got to go to the forums and do it. Opt-in beta. Okay. So I'm actually. So just so you know, Slow Death. I've got Twitch running on one computer and YouTube on the other, and I'm actually looking on the computer that I'm running YouTube stream on right now. So if I go to forums. Announcements and news, let's see, topic 2096, how to enter community opt-in beta. Let me type that in the search here. How to enter, let's just try that, how to enter. Well, that didn't help any. That was a bad search option. Here's some Captain Matt costs for you. Tell us how it went yesterday, Captain United. Joiner's looking over here. Let me try on this other computer, even though I'm not logged in. Let's see. How to enter the community opt-in beta. Go to the client area and select the 717 from your product list. Okay, so let me go back here. Client area. Select the 717 from your product list. Click on the add-ons tab on the left sidebar of the web page. Huh? There's no add-ons tab. What are you talking about? You in order, select 17. Okay, I'm not seeing that. Where's add-ons tab? Huh? So it's saying on here, guys, it says go to the client area and select the 717 from your product list, which I've already done. So I'm looking at it right now. And then it says click on the add-ons tab on the left sidebar of the web page. I've got overview, information, and downloads. Yeah, that's not even, I mean, is the option not there anymore or what? That's kind of weird. Let's see if anybody's tuning in here and giving any information. Dog Tag's over here on YouTube now. Fantastic. Oh, FSX froze. That stinks. Yeah, Mark, I'm looking for the left bar here. I'm not seeing a bar on the left. I've got So the only thing I have close to a menu bar on the left is an overview, and it says information and downloads, and that's it. Maybe I need to go back to client area. No. Yeah, your active products and services. Yeah, something's not adding up here, guys, because I kind of did something like this before. I wasn't looking for it, but my products and services. Put this over here. Yep, that's where I'm at, my products and services, and then I selected the 717, the current one that I have, and it pulls that up and it shows that it's active. And then that's it. On the left side I've got information and downloads. If I click on downloads, it lets me download the company route format, documentation, add-on manager, and that's it. I prank you. What do you mean you have no support, my friend? Morning, Jacob. Great to have you here. We're just trying to figure out how I can get the opt-in to the beta for TFDi 717 for P3D version 4. And so far, apparently we're struggling a little with that. Well, I'm struggling. Everybody else is trying to help me out and probably going, why is this guy so stupid? Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Do I need to download maybe the new add-on manager? Maybe that's what it is. So let me go back to this forum thread here. So it says left sidebar of the web page, click here to view an order. But I don't see that anywhere. Is it because I already have this thing? Should be actions on the left side. There is not actions on the left side. Under my products and services. Ah, there it is. Actions. Place a new order, view available add-ons. So, which one am I clicking here? I prank you. Actually, yeah, why don't you shoot me an email, man? I'm all about helping people get a YouTube channel started. Captain United's on here. Him and we work together quite a bit. I haven't seen him in a while, but Z-Wall, I like to help him out with his channel whenever I can. So go to the About section on my YouTube page, find my email address, and shoot me an email. Oh, Hobbit Airlines, yeah. There's a couple options. That's something I need to start. I want to start doing actually this year. Is we're going to do some joint flights and stuff like that. So, okay. So what I need from you guys right now, I found the actions thing, Mark. I found the actions section. I clicked on the little plus sign. It says place a new order or view available add-ons. Which of those do I select? I'm just going to pick one. Place a new order. Smart cars, TFDi 717, web hosting, 737 extreme sound. So I don't think that's it. And let's go back and look at the other one. View available add-ons. Transfer. Ah! TFDi Design 717 Community Opt-in Beta Free. Order now. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Cool. Check out. Got all my info in there. Hopefully, yeah, you guys can't see this on the stream. Looks good. I've read. Complete order. Something's making noise on the other computer over here. I have no idea what. Okay, I should get a confirmation email shortly. View all products, but it doesn't show up right now, so I don't know. Okay, I know where to find it now. Let me close that out because we're on a live stream. Somebody's probably watching this video going, what on earth are you doing? Okay, well, we were trying to figure out how to opt into the beta for P3D version 4, which I think I figured out, so I should get an email on that, and hopefully I'll be able to get that all set up before I actually do the full flight tutorial on this. So, sweet. Thanks for the help, guys. I really appreciate that. Hobbit Airlines, I am not currently a pastor, but I have pursued a degree in biblical theology. I'm actually 2 classes shy of completing that. So hopefully one day maybe that will be my role. I don't know. We'll find out. So it doesn't look what it looks like. I prank you. Do me a favor. Shoot me an email. You know, in fact, since he's on here, Cody, do me a favor. See about creating maybe an email account that on Google Gmail or something that we can sort of make like a joint account where we can communicate with folks and you know, maybe help folks like I Prank You Out get their channel up and running and stuff. You know what I mean? Okay, okay, so now you need to do it in the TFDi manager, which I think I closed. I did. So let me open that up real quick and see if it pops up in there now. Signing in. There are 1 or more updates available. Would you like to update even though your simulator is running? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and update anyway. Because I don't think it's going to cause an issue. We're not going to actually change anything in the simulator. Shivam, great to have you here, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Always great to have you here. It really is. Don't mind me. I'm sort of trying to do 10 things at once here. Yeah, that'd be great, Cody. I really appreciate that. And then that way we could, even here on the live stream, we can just give that email out to somebody if they want some help, and then we can try and help them together, you know. Yeah, Hobbit Airlines, by all means. Once Cody gets that, Cody is Captain United, by the way, guys. He's also a sponsor of the channel. Him and Shivam both. They hop on these live streams quite a bit, so please give them a thank you down below. Their support of the Cap Mac channel has just been absolutely fantastic. And Cody and I, we get together, and he's got his own channel. You guys go check it out. It's a great channel, and we try to help each other out, come up with ideas and stuff like that. So, yeah, definitely do that, Cody. And once we've got that email up and running, then you guys can shoot an email over there, and either me or Cody can take a look at it, and we can address it, and, you know, maybe start getting some more people involved. What we're trying to do is we're trying to bring that community aspect back to the flight simulation community, you know, especially on the YouTube side, because what happened is a lot of these guys got on YouTube doing flight sim, and they sort of started shunning everybody else and saying, oh, well, you're not part of our little crew here, you're not sort of good enough, whatever, and, you know, and so we started. Basically what it comes down to is, you know, they're not taking care of each other. I don't like that. Just so you guys know, I got an installation error here, probably because my flight sim is running. It says access to the 717 DLL is denied. So that's probably just because my flight sim's running right now, would be my guess. But then again, Lockheed Martin prepared 3D version 4 install button is now highlighted. So that's something I can take care of later. I'm not going to do it right now. We are going to go ahead and do this flight in FSX. So let's see. Better frames. Alright, what do you say we keep going here, guys? Because we spent all that time trying to figure that out, and so now we got people going, what is going on? Over here on Twitch we got Cruise, what is that? Cruise QE2? We'll just call you Cruise. Good afternoon from the UK. Good afternoon to you as well, sir. It's morning time here, but we're really glad to have you here on the stream. I appreciate it. Great to have you joining us. So, so far we've got power on the aircraft. We haven't done anything else, right? Well, we took care of the lights. So let's move on here, guys. Next thing we do is we're going into system tests here. So we need to do the hydraulic system test. It says set auxiliary hydraulic pump to on. So coming up top here, here's hydraulics, and you can maybe just see back there. It says auxiliary there. So let's put that pump on, and then set hydraulic transfer to on, which is this one here. So that one's on. And then it says verify you have 2800 psi or more on the hydraulic SD display. So which button is it? This one here. So down here we're going to click on hydraulics. I have done this a little bit just so you guys know. And then it says again, it says verify you have 2800 psi or more on this display. So you go down below there, you click on hydraulics, and then you should have 2800 or more. We got 2800 here, 3000 here, and we should be good. So then it says to set the hydraulic pump to off, the auxiliary hydraulic pump, sorry. So left click that again, and then the transfer to off as well. And there we go. And then I think we're just done with that. So yeah, so you see the hydraulics coming down now. And then we got the ground proximity warning test. It says push the GPWS mode to test and hold until test begins. So this is one of those I'm going to have to find. GPWS. So this should be the test, right? It says push it and hold it until the test starts. But I think I could just click it down to test.
Glide slope.
It started immediately.
Pull up. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Sink rate. Pull up. Terrain. Don't sink. Don't sink. Too low. Gear. Too low. Flaps. Too low. Terrain. Glide slope.
Okay, I think that's it.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
No, it's not.
Too low. Terrain. Caution. Terrain.
Let this thing finish.
Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
Okay. There we go. Cody, I have no idea what happened to his channel. I didn't know it was gone. I haven't heard anything from him. I tried to email him and he never answered back or anything, so I don't know. This is not FSX Steam Edition NH. It is just FSX. Okay, moving on here. Emergency power test. So it says verify left and right engine fuel valve is set to off. So I gotta remember which key is which. These should be the fuel valves here, right? They're both in the off position. Up would be the on position. Set emergency power to arm. So I gotta find emergency power. Here we go, right here. Emergency power. Left click it once. Now it's armed. Verify on the EAD that emergency power test fail is not indicated. Okay, so emergency power test is going right now, and then it just disappeared, and it doesn't say emergency power test fail, so we're good. And then leave it in the arm position, so we'll leave it as is and move on. Wing ice detection test. Push the wing ice detection to test and release. So ice protection is here. So wing ice detection test. So left click down, push down and release. And then, whoops, wrong button. Verify wing ice detection pass on EAD, which it is right there. Wing ice detection pass. Hopefully you guys can see that all right. Why did it just... Okay, anyway, hopefully you guys can see that down there without any issues. Alright, fuel system test. Press and hold the fuel quantity test for 5 seconds and then verify on fuel SD display that 9,000 pounds is displayed in total. So first thing, let's go down here and let's change this to fuel. Right there. Alright, so now we can see it's on fuel and it shows our current fuel is 10,970 pounds. What we need to do is hold down the test button and then verify that it says 9,000 pounds. And because it's down there and the test button is up here, first of all, let me find the test button. I know the test button's up here though. Here's fuel quantity AB test. So this is one of those where you left click, hold down the mouse button and then move it away. So I'm still holding down the mouse button. Now when I release it, that button stays down. And that way I can hop down here and sure enough, there it is, 9,000 pounds. That's what we want to see. And so now that that's good, we can release this. Because otherwise, how do you hold down that button and look down there? You just really can't, right? Okay, moving on. What's very true, dog tag? I'm way behind on the chat there. Let's go to the gear warning test here. Unlock the gear handle, okay, and verify the annunciators now display red, and then lock the gear handle down. So I think you right click it. Nope. How do we unlock the gear handle? Oh, there we go. So I left clicked and drug this way, drug up for some reason. I don't know why that's the way to do it, but verify that these turn red and then relock it. So just left click it again to relock it, and then they should go back to green, obviously. Brian, great to have you here, man. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I've been throwing a bunch of these up lately, so. Hobbit, right now I do not use Discord, so yeah, I just don't use it right now, so. Same birthday as Henry VIII, huh? My birthday is not famous, except that it's the day I was born. Does that count for anything? bedwed behead. That's terrible, Jacob. Oh, good times. Richard, great to have you here. Hi, welcome aboard. Just a reminder, guys, so we got some folks over here on YouTube, quite a few folks over on YouTube, and then we've got some folks over on Twitch as well, so you can hop on either one right now. I don't know how many folks are watching over on Twitch. Used to be able to see, but for whatever reason, it doesn't actually show me how many viewers we have. I probably have to like refresh the page or something. I'm just not going to do that. So, but we do have a few folks over on Twitch as well. We're streaming on both at the same time, and I'm probably going to do that throughout the 2018 year. So, okay, moving on here. What did we do last? We did the gear warning test, okay, and then stabilizer trim test. So open the config SD display. So we're going to hop down here. We're going to open the config SD display. So you click on that, and there we go, configuration. Verify yoke trim moves the stabilizer trim, right? So let me hop up here real quick. So I've got a button mapped to it on my yoke. So when I move it, this stabilizer trim should move. And there we go, it's starting to move. That's what we want to see, right? And then you want to enable the stab, or the stab, this is called a stabilator for anybody who knows. A lot of people call it a stabilizer. It's not a stabilizer, it's a stabilator. I'm certain of that, but if I'm wrong, please feel free to let me know. Anyway, enable the stab trim inhibit, which I believe is down here. Yep, stabilizer trim. So this is the inhibit button. So left click to open the cover, click on this guy, right? And now we're going to verify that the yoke trim does not move this. So I'm going to push the same button, and this doesn't move. Now with that, we also want to make sure, and this is where we're going to have to sort of change our view up here a little bit. Now we want to make sure that these guys here, the alternate long trim, can still move the stabilizer trim. So I'm going to start by left clicking and hold, and you should see it's moving there. And then I'll just left click it to stop, and then right click and hold, move the mouse away, and you should see it moving the other way, and it is. And then just left click it to stop it again. And if you just click and release, it'll just move it a little at a time. All I'm doing is I'm doing the same trick where I click and hold, move the mouse away, and that just holds it in that position, and then just click on it again to get it to stop. And so that's what we want there. And then we disable the stabilator trim inhibit. Or, well, I guess it is called a stabilizer because it says stabilizer on there, right? I could swear that thing's called a stabilator, though. Ugh. 7 on Twitch, fantastic. Well, that's a good turnout, guys. That means we got 41 people watching right now. I've enjoying that. That's great. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. Does it count if I do FS 2004 videos? Well, yeah, it definitely counts, iPrank. I think probably the only issue you're going to run into with that is because we've got FSX, and then we've got P3D version 4 now, and even X-Plane's really starting to come into its own. You're probably not going to get a lot of folks interested in watching Flight Sim 2004 videos, but by all means, give it a go and see what you get, right? When the whole surface moves, I don't know if it does either, Jacob, but you know what? I think you're right. So if the whole surface moves, that's a stabilator, and then if you just have trim tabs on it, then it's a stabilizer, right? That's probably more correct there. Oh yeah, definitely dog tagging. That's what we're trying to do. We want to get, you know, specifically a community for flight simmers that want to do YouTube stuff. That doesn't mean if you don't do YouTube, we don't want you to be a part of it either. Don't misunderstand me there. But you know, as a whole, I think the flight simulation community's really gone south in a lot of ways, and that's one of the things I love about these live streams is we get all these folks on here and we get this great interaction. I get a lot of help from you guys, and I know that you guys learn some stuff from me, and I really enjoy that. And I've noticed there are a lot of folks out there who really have no interest in helping anybody out anymore. They're more interested in either sticking to their old ways or just advancing their own agenda, and I don't like that. I know Cody doesn't like that, so you know, we want to get away from that. Don't say that, Cody. Don't say that. I'll lose a bunch of viewers over here. I think it depends a little bit. Sometimes it is better on Twitch, sometimes it's crummy on Twitch. So I think it's a toss-up. But right now we're looking pretty good anyway. So okay, let's move on here because otherwise we're going to take forever. So we've taken care of the stabilizer trim test, transponder TCAS test. This is real simple, old-fashioned test. So in this case, let me slide over here where we can see a little bit better. We're not pushing a button, but instead we need to scroll this down to here. So just left-click it down to test. Now here's the catch. It's going to say, now for some reason my screens aren't showing when I pop them up. It's going to say TCAS fail right now. It's going to do it every time. it's going to say TCAS fail until we align the IRS, which we haven't done yet. So I'm not really sure why. I'm not really sure why they're having you do this right now. I think that's a little strange, but it is what it is. So we're not going to get the audible TCAS test okay. What's not for you, dog tag? I'm running in circles here trying to keep up with everybody's conversations. Don't mind me, guys. Start dancing, Cody. Dog tag, there's no snacks on this flight. It's a short one. About the IRS. Okay, observer oxygen mask test. Now, this is kind of interesting because we're going to test all the oxygen masks in a little bit, including this one, but for some reason right here, it tells us to test the observer oxygen mask. So if I go back here, this is where we're looking. So this is the observer oxygen mask. We're going to go ahead and test this one right now. And what it tells us to do is press the left tab, press the tab left of the tab reset and listen for a blast of air. So that's this side here. There's your blast of air. Okay. Then we're going to twist the black oxygen mode knob to emergency mode. So if you left click it, it twists a little to the right. And now when we test the mask by press and hold that tab left of the tab reset and listen for a flow of air. So rather than, so that's just a little burst, and then now it should be a flow, right? And so that's how we test it there, and then we put it back and we're good to go. All right, and then that takes us into the pre-flight overview. So interior and exterior inspection. All right, normally this is when the walk around of the aircraft would take place. We don't really need to walk around, but we can hop out. So there's your exterior of the aircraft, and of course when you're doing the exterior inspection, there's a whole myriad of things they're looking for. So for me, in the real world, I've only flown Cessna 172, so I would only know specifically what I'm looking for on that aircraft, whereas on this one I wouldn't really know. So, but the idea is that you're looking for certain things to make sure that the aircraft is worthy for flight. At least in this case, what we're inspecting during the walk around is the physical condition of the aircraft, the airframe and all that. It has nothing to do with systems, right? Alright, let's hop back inside. I got a sneeze working its way in, so you can count on that coming here pretty soon. Let's see what else. Set emergency lights to on and verify that emergency lights illuminate the cockpit, and then set them to arm. So I'm sure emergency lights are going to be up top here somewhere. That's thunderstorm. There's emergency lights, so set them to on, and then it says there's on. It says to verify they illuminate the cockpit, but I don't know that they're really gonna, it's daytime, so I don't know that that's really going to do anything. But then you set them to arm, so we'll right click it once to put it in the arm position and we'll be good to go. And then now we test oxygen mask. So there's 3 locations for them: left of the captain's seat, right of the first officer's seat, and then behind the first officer's seat. And we test them all the same. Now the thing is we just got done testing the one that's behind the first officer's seat, so I don't really know why we didn't just do them all then. But either way, let me see if I can find this guy here. So here's the one for the captain. Same thing, so we get a little blast of air, left click that, now it should flow. There we go, click that back and we're good. And then I don't think I set up a first officer's view on this, but we can just zoom over here through the magic of chase plane in this case, and same thing, burst of air and a flow. Put that back and we're good, and that takes care of all the oxygen mask tests, because we already did the one behind the first officer's seat. I don't see the point in doing it again, right? Oh, sweet, Cody, that sounds fantastic. That'll be cool. Hold on, let me get a drink of something here real quick, guys. Treat you like a third-class noob if you ask a question. You talking on YouTube, dog tag? Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? We don't need lights. 3 coffee cup holders. Yeah, Cody's all about his coffee, guys. There's a toilet on board. Shoveled about 100+ pounds of snow and found a dog on the run. Fantastic, Chris. Well, you didn't miss a whole lot, so we fumbled around for a while, but we're getting there. Yes and no, iPrank. So if you're running P3D version 1, 2, or 3, then yes, I would agree with you. But version 4 is actually substantially better because it's 64-bit now. Okay, let's move on. Voice recorder. The cockpit voice recorder is located at the top center section of the overhead panel, just below the circuit breakers. So not here, but up here, right? And so you have to test it by pressing and holding the black CVR test switch until the annunciator light above status illuminates green. Once green, let go of the switch and verify that the light is no longer illuminated after 5 seconds. So we're going to press and hold. Goes green. Let go. And it goes away after 5 seconds. So fantastic. Next is the cargo smoke. Cargo smoke panel is located on the left mid-section of the overhead panel. So they sort of broke this up. So you've got, get back over here. So to them, I think it starts like right about here is the lower section, they say, and then this is the mid-section, and that's the upper section. But for me, I've got this one, and then if we have to, we can always sort of tilt and take care of that one there, right? So in this case, just below the IRS panel, so cargo smoke's right here, and then just so you guys know, IRS is right here with the smiley face. Not sure what the smiley face is for, but there you go. So press and hold down the cargo smoke test and verify that all push annunciators on the cargo smoke panel are illuminated with an amber color, and listen for an audible cargo smoke. So it's this big button here. So all of these light up.
Smoke. Cargo smoke.
And we should hear that, and it'll just keep repeating until you click off the button there. So that takes care of that. And then actually no, that's not correct. So on the air SD display, so let me set that up real quick. So down here, click on air. Okay, and so that's going to put the display on air. There should be 12 red deltas displayed. A delta is a triangle. Just simplify it. It's a triangle. So same thing.
Cargo smoke.
And there you can see there's your 12 red deltas
Cargo
displayed
smoke.
right there. Okay.
Cargo
And then
smoke.
clicking on air SD display will actually acknowledge the alert and get rid of that noise, right? So if we
smoke.
click on this,
Cargo smoke.
there we go. That'll stop, but the display's still there, and then you can see cargo smoke aft and cargo smoke forward, which it doesn't actually mention on here. But once that's done, you go back up top and then you just release the button, and that takes care of the cargo smoke test. What do we got going on over here? Cameron Russell, yo 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 to you as well. JFK is closed. Why? Oh, is it closed because of the snow? I agree with you, Roxanne. I typically get worse frames in FSX and P3D. Grease markings, fluid drips, any loose materials. Yeah, that's your basics, dog tag. Absolutely. PMC has your equipment. Fly Tampa now has a CYYZ installation for CYYZ. They've redone the scenery. You can find it in their forum. Oh, sweet. Do me a favor, Shivan, because I know I'll forget. Just shoot me a quick email with a link to that, and then I can go in there and redo it. It's funny, you know, flying in and out of these sceneries when I'm live streaming, these frame rates are junk, but I went back in there, Shivam, and I flew in and out of there with that same aircraft from that last live stream, and my frames were fine. So, you're going to report me to the FAA? You're doing this on a taxiway? Actually, I'm not doing it on a taxiway. This is actually a cargo parking position. The taxiway's over there. This is the first parking position for the South Cargo ramp at Phoenix. So, good try though. Alright, let's move on here. Air conditioning panel. Air panel can be found in the middle section. That's right up here. Air panel is this one right here. Okay. And let's see, if you're using an air source, e.g. such as an APU or external air, you would set the isolation valve to open and set the left pack and right pack to on, but we're not using either right now. So if you're not using an air source, set the isolation valve to open. So here's the isolation valve. So that's closed, that's open, that's auto. So we want it in the middle and open. Set left pack and right pack to off. So they're both off right now. That's the auto position, that's the off position, right? And you must have an air source for engine start. We know that already. We'll have to start the APU, which is actually a bit of a process. We'll have to go back to that when we're ready. Okay, ice protection panel, moving to this guy over here. If the outside air temperature is less than 6 degrees Celsius with visible moisture, or the difference between outside air temperature and dew point is less than 3 degrees, then note for after starting that you'll need to set windshield anti-ice to on. Well, we don't have any of those conditions, so we're not going to be too worried about that today. Still reporting you. You should have warned me. You guys are killing me. No chit chat over on Twitch, but hey guys, I've got that up on another computer, so if you guys got any chit chat you want to throw down in the comments section over there, please do, and I'll try to respond. Okay, moving on. If there's an indication of structural icing, such as windshield bolts, wipers, etc., then wing ice protection would be set to on, tail ice protection set to on, windshield anti-ice set to on, and so on. If the outside air temperature is above 6 degrees Celsius and the difference between that and the dew point is greater than 3 degrees, no structural icing is present. All switches to off, excluding set windshield anti-ice to on. So windshield anti-ice is going to ultimately go on anyway, which makes sense. Alright, annunciator lights. The annunciator... hold on. Wait for it. The annunciator light test button can be found on the right lower section of the overhead panel above the right windshield wiper. That's right here. Okay? So, we need to hold down the annunciator light test and verify that lights are visible on these panels. I'm going to read through them, but ultimately it's basically just about everything. So, overhead it'll be the above circuit breakers, or above the circuit breakers, ground service electric power, flight deck door panel, IRS panel, anti-skid switch, VHF overhead panel, cargo smoke panel, hydraulic control rudder switch, EGPWS terrain override switch, electric panel, cabin pressure panel, this goes on. This is a whole list. This list is like a whole page long here. Anyway, the point is all the lights come on, right? Click and hold, move your mouse away before releasing the button. All of these should be on. You should see pretty much every light in this thing should pretty much come on at this point, right? We've got all these guys coming on up here. We've got this guy should be on up here. We've got all of our warning displays on here. We've got the gear warning display. All of that should be on. Coming down here, same thing on the standby instruments there. All of these guys should be blinking, and you have the two red lights on here, and I think that's it. We've down on the little side panels as well, both sides over here. All of those lights got to come on. That's what happens when you do that test. Everybody knows that anyway, so we'll go ahead and click that off, and we'll move on to the next page. Passenger signs. Verify no smoking sign is on and seatbelt sign is on as well, and these are on the bottom center of the overhead panel. So bottom center, somewhere down here. Bottom center of the overhead panel. Switch is located on the lights panel. It's probably right in front of my face and I can't see it. No smoking seatbelt sign. There you go, right in front of my face. So left click down to the on position. There we go. Flight control panel controls the plane's auto flight systems, can be found in the center of the glare shield. Verify value set for flight match restrictions for planned departure. So what is it saying? It's saying we're going to set our first restricted altitude here, our speed here, and then of course we need to set the altimeter as well, and I'm going to pop that up over here real quick. And the current altimeter in Phoenix is 3013. So if you come over here to baro set, it's on QNH right now, right? Let's zip over here. So you've got QFE and QNH over there, and I think you have to set these separately. What did we say, 3013? There we go. Scroll the wheel up. Did I say 3013? I don't remember. And no, it did both sides. Good. That's what I wanted to do. I want them to sync up because I just don't want to have to do both of them. It's pretty simple, right? And that was next on the list anyway, is to set the altimeters. And then it says the altimeters are independent of each other, verify and cross-check. Now, I think I changed a setting in the control panel that matched them up. So, Captain Reamer, yay, found the comments. Okay, flight navigation instruments, align the IRS. So we've gone through all this stuff at this point. We're an hour into this live stream already. A lot of that was trying to figure out how to get the beta version for P3D version 4. But anyway, now we're ready to align the IRS. So it's on the left top of the overhead panel. So it's all the way up. Nope, not that one. This one here. Alright, verify you have stable power, which we do, and set IRS switches to nav. So you're just going to right click. Now this one, it says right there, it's inoperable in this aircraft, probably because they just only simulated the two, and that's fine. It must not be moving during the alignment, and then we go down here, and I don't need to pull up the MCDU documentation, hopefully. We're going to go into FMC1. We're going to verify this, and this is up to date. Actually, it's not. It's out of date as of today, so I need to update my AirAct. But anyway, and then let's see. Go to the flight plan initialization page and enter the airports in the scratch pad. So flight plan initialization. There we go. And then, no, that's not right. Initialization. There we go. That's the page I was looking for there. So we're going to enter the airports in here. So we're going Phoenix, KPHX, and then slash. Now somebody told me you probably don't need to put the slash, but I'm going to put it anyway because it just feels more appropriate to me. KSAN. We're going to put those in here. And as soon as we do that, see it says align IRS, right? So we can clear that out. That's fine. Return to flight plan initialization. And then you see it says right here initialize IRS. So we want to click on this line key. And there we go. Now it's initializing and aligning the IRS. Pretty straightforward, right? Verify the MCDU, verify flight plan on the flight plan page, enter and verify all three initialization pages, and enter and verify takeoff data and approach page. So basically we're at the flight planning stage here, if you will. We're not going to do an alternate route. Flight number is going to be MAC 2336. Put those in there real quick. There we go. That's our flight number. Cruise level, I think I said 330. And no, again, no alternate. Cost index will be 85 because that's us. Well, that's me anyway. And then we can go to next page. And then here we go. We got block fuel, which should be 11, right? So we just click on it, take off gross weight. It says out of range. Let's see. What about zero fuel weight? Zero fuel weight, out of range. Okay, so I don't even have those right now, do I? Zero fuel weight, center of gravity, out of range. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to put those in there, which means I probably need my add-on manager, right? Because that's where that information should be. There are one or more updates available. No, I don't want to update right now. Okay, so if you pull up your add-on manager, and I know you guys can't see this, that's alright. It'll be visible when I do the full flight tutorial. The gross weight is 98,090 pounds, so basically 98.0. So we'll go 98.0. That's our gross weight. And then it automatically did zero fuel weight for us. And then, so it should do the zero fuel weight center of gravity, right? Now it still says out of range, but I don't see, I see zero fuel weight on here. But I don't see center of gravity. So that's interesting. So where am I supposed to get that from? Not really sure, to be honest with you. Where do I get my zero fuel weight center of gravity from if it's not in the add-on manager where I get my gross weight and all that from? Anybody know? It's not the end of the world if you don't do it on time. Help me out here, guys. Where am I supposed to get my takeoff center of gravity and zero fuel weight center of gravity? Not getting any help here. Probably because you guys are still haven't heard that yet. So I'm just going to sit here and stare at these screens until somebody has an answer for me. How about that? Or I could pull up the documentation. Let me pull up the documentation. You guys aren't helping. Documentation. Maybe. Maybe not. It's not pulling up documentation either. Probably the thing's a little messed up because I tried to update it while the sim was on, which is kind of funny when you think about it, because it needs to be updated again. Okay, so that's no good. Yeah, I didn't use SimBrief, Chris. Another page. You're on 2 of 3. Yeah, there's another page, but that's not where the center of gravity's at, right? So this is just ballast fuel. But on this page, I need my takeoff center of gravity, my zero fuel weight center of gravity. Maybe those will populate once the flight plan's done. Yeah, I think you need to input something first. If I just click on it, it just says entry out of range. Same thing with zero fuel weight center of gravity. It just says entry out of range. I'm on page 2 right now. What I'm saying is, where do I get the numbers that are supposed to go in here? Help me out with that while we carry on here. Let's go to the flight plan page. And so you can see it's your basic flight plan, Phoenix to San Diego. We don't have any information in there yet. Let me pop this guy up over here. And we're going, let's go departure arrival first. Where's departure arrival on this one? Takeoff and approach? No, that's not what I'm looking for. click on Phoenix. There we go, Sid. And it's going to be Judith 6 for us. I'm going to show you guys something pretty cool here in a little bit too. Judith 6, and then what was the wind? I didn't look at the wind when I pulled up the weather, did I? 090 at 7 knots. So the closest runway to us is 7 right. So we'll take 7 right. And insert. Sweet. So there's Judith 6 right there. And that takes us out to Gila Bend, it looks like. And then Judith. And then we have a discontinuity. And that's going to go to Mohawk. Or it's probably supposed to be Mohawk, but it's M-O-H-A-K. So we'll put that one right here. And then from there it's J18. So click on this guy. Airways. Via. And I'm just doing this from my basic understanding of how this FMC probably works. So via J18 to Hogs, H-O-G-G-Z. And I'll look at the comments here in a second. G-G-Z in there. Bam. Insert those because then we're going to be on our arrival, which is going to be the Lucky 1 arrival. So scroll down here to KSAN. Click on that. Star. Lucky 1. And then most likely we're going to be landing on the localizer runway 27. So we're going to grab that right there. Not sure what minimum profile is. I'm not going to mess with it. And transition. Do we want to transition at Lindy? I don't think so. I think we're fine right there. So now if we go to flight plan, there's our departure. And then a discontinuity. So we need to connect these. We'll just clear that out. Hit clear and then click on that. Clears it out. Top of descent. Then Lucky Lindy. And then Rebu runway 27, and then that's the missed approach procedure. So that takes care of that. If we go back to the initialization on page 2, does that take care of? It does not. Reach for your far aim. No, it's not in there. It's on the EFB. Oh, is it? Okay, there we go. So we go over here, and where is it at in here? Status, maybe? Yep, look at that. Center of gravity, gross weight, 0 fuel weight. So center of gravity is at 18%. Let's go down here and let's put that in. So that's our takeoff center of gravity is 18.0. But it doesn't give us our 0 fuel weight center of gravity apparently. Adjust the weight transfer to the front of the aircraft. Why there's no third IRS on the 717 dog tag? There is, but they just, I think they just didn't simulate the actual function of it. Avoid tail drag. Okay. So I didn't see 0 fuel weight center of gravity on here, guys. Just center of gravity. 0 fuel weight says 85.5 pounds. Get back here. That's obviously 85,000. But it doesn't do anything if you click on it, so... Connected as pilot flying. Oh, that's for... join ops, flying it together. Okay. Well, other than the 0 fuel weight center of gravity... which, I don't know, it's probably pretty close, but it doesn't, you know, again, can't just click on it. So let's move on for now. We'll come back. We're not putting any ballast fuel in, so we're good there. We've done our flight plan there. Let's see, performance, initialization. Yeah, I've done all I can here. Let's go to performance real quick. Economy climb. We need to go to our thrust limits here. So we're gonna do regular takeoff. I didn't use Top Cat for this flight, so yeah, so I guess we'll just leave that as is. Performance mode. That's pre-select cruise, pre-select descent, and then we could do descent forecast. I'm not gonna mess with that right now. And you can do a climb forecast as well. But it's not actually so is it giving us our V speeds? There's the question, right? No, it's not giving us our V speeds. So maybe that's later on in the checklist. So let's move on for now. Fire warning. The fire warning extinguisher panel can be found below the FCP. Fire test switch can be located between the two red handles on the left side. What is FCP? Fuel control panel? Wrong button. Is it talking about this one here? No, it's not talking about that one, right? Below the FCP. So here's our fuel control panel here. Getting a little, what is the FCP, guys? Is that fuel control panel? I didn't print out the little graphic or whatever. It says the fire warning extinguisher panel can be found below the FCP. The fire test switch can be located between the two red handles on the left side. Okay. Is it this guy here? Yeah, okay, it's this guy here. Hold down the fire test and verify. Where's fire test? No, that's fire agent. That's APU stuff right there. That's not it either. See, this is what I gotta go through. Because I have no idea where it's at right now. So I gotta find it, obviously. Otherwise, yeah. It's gonna be really terrible when we do the, yeah, we're still on the ground, Hobbit. Here we go. It's right here. Flight control panel, FCP. Okay. Don't mind me. Okay, so we've got fault test and fire test. So hold down the fire test and verify audible fire right engine, left engine, and APU fire, and both handles illuminate.
Fire right engine. Fire left engine. APU fire. Fire right engine.
Okay, so we're good on that. All right. Let's see. Parking brake. Verify this is this is pulled out or engaged. We've done that already. Takeoff warning. Takeoff warning can be heard when advancing the throttles while not in the proper takeoff configuration. Advance the throttles forward until you hear two beeps, followed by. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button there. Two beeps followed with stabilizers, slats, flaps, and brakes. So advance these forward. There we go.
Stabilizer. Slats. Flaps. Brakes. Stabilizer.
Once verified, put them back to idle. Then go to fuel pump switches up top. If not using APU, verify that they're all off. These are our fuel pumps here. They are all up and in the off position. So that's on, that's off. And then we're not using APU yet, so we don't need it. We're not doing radios and transponder. Weather radar. It can be found on the center pedestal down here. Set weather mode to test. That's this one right here. Right click it once to test. Verify four
monitor
colors.
radar display.
Are displayed.
Go around. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead.
And then it says verify your nav display is not displaying weather on, but it is for some reason. Oh no, it says set weather mode to off and then verify it's not displaying weather on. So put it back to off, jump back up here, and then it doesn't say weather on, so we're good. Also note that it says TCAS off now instead of TCAS fail, so we can do that TCAS test real quick. So same thing, just left click it. And you can see it's going through its TCAS test now.
TCAS test passed.
There we go. And then aileron and rudder trim. Select the config SD display. So down here, select config. Verify the rudder delta is within the green band on the indicator. Okay, so that's this guy right here, and it is in the green band. I'll zoom up a little so you can see it there. So you can see the little green band right there. It is within the green band. And then verify the aileron delta is centered on the indicator. Yep, aileron delta is centered on the indicator, so we're good there. And then it goes flight attendant briefing, departure briefing. Actually, we can do our departure briefing right here. Check this out. So this is something I want to show you guys, really cool. Go to documents, and you can see here's our Judas 6 departure. Now, you're probably wondering, how did I get that? So to get that, to get these charts in here, I've got our ground chart for Phoenix. Okay, I've got our departure chart, which is the Judas 6, and you can't see it real well on here, but it's there anyway. What you need to do is create a screenshot of your chart and save it as a PNG. I don't know if it takes any other formats, but I know it works as a PNG. So save it as a PNG file in your main folder, TFDi 717, and then there's a, let me find it here real quick. And I know you guys can't see this, I'm not going to pop it up right now, but I'll probably show this on the tutorial, the full flight tutorial. So you go to your TFDi, your main folder, sim objects, maybe, sim objects, airplanes, and then your TFDi 717 folder, and then in there is a documents folder. There's documentation and documents, okay, and then in there is company routes and tablet. And if you go into tablet and save these files as a PNG file, they show up in here. And so you can see we've got, again, we've got our departure, we've got our ground chart, we've got a ground chart for San Diego, as well as I've got two different views of the approach chart. One that's sideways, so that's a little bit bigger, because the other one that I have down here is just a little harder to see, right? So there we go. So we've got that in there. So our June 6th departure, we're going to be taking runway 7 right, which is over here, out to whatever waypoint this is. I can't even see that real well, to be honest with you. Let's zoom in here and see if we can see a little bit better. So out to FUTEP. So yeah, you can see it's a little blurry. It's not real clear, which is kind of a shame. But basically, we're going to follow this route around to here and then connect over here out to Gila Bend and then Judith and then Mohawk from there. And then our departure frequency will be 126.8. So pretty cool that you can do that. I really like it. So we'll close that out for now. And where are we at here? Logbook and QRH, we're good. Fuel required. We're going to hope that it's the right amount of fuel. And that takes us into preparing for pushback. So, oh boy, that was a lot of work there. An hour and 20 minutes just to get to that point. Were you guys arguing over where you're going to sit in the airplane? Yes, there is a zoom function on the tablet. I'll show that to you real quick. So again, if you go to documents, so I can zoom this in, hit the plus function here, but again, it's still a little blurry, right? I guess it's a little better than us just zooming in. So, but unfortunately the controls are a little quirky. It'd be nice if I could you know, use the mouse to move around or something, but it is what it is. So it's out to FUTEP and then AZ, CRD, USI, and then Massive, Oakley, out here to, actually we're going to bypass Clubs, it looks like. Yeah, we're kind of flying alongside it. We're flying out to Gila Bend there, and then out to Judith, and then Mohawk. And then if you need other information, there's some information there, and then your Phoenix departure and so on. And then taking a look, might as well look at our taxi route real quick as well. So let me zoom this in a little bit for you. So we're actually parked right here on the south cargo ramp, and we're going to be taking runway 7 right. So we're just going to swing back here and follow hotel down and hold short there, and that'll be our taxi for departure. And then we don't need to brief those when we taxi out, right? All right. So electrical. This is preparing for pushback. Now, if you're using external power, you must start the APU for pushback. All right. So to start the APU, first things first, right aft pump needs to go on. We're talking fuel here, right? So here's the fuel pumps. These are the aft pumps. These are the forward pumps. So right aft pump on, APU master to start, then to on. So APU is up over here. Here's the master. So that's run. Go to start, and then it automatically goes back to run. Wait until the annunciator above APU gen illuminates to on, and then we'll set APU gen to on. That would be over here on electrical, right? So that's this guy right here. So right now the APU is spinning up, right? And we can see that right here on our display. What we got going on here in the chat? It's bad when the recording sounds panicked. Yeah, I zoomed in on the tablet there, Ludo. Captain Alex, you created that channel so you don't have to use iPrank you. It's probably a good idea. Hey AJ, welcome back from your Boeing 777 session. He's talking about a full motion simulator there too, guys. Okay, APU's all the way spun up here. We'll hop up top here, and then you can see APU gen light comes on. So flip APU gen to on. So we're going to left click it to on. Okay, APU air to on, which Should be down here, right? That's RAM air. Where's APU air? Where's APU air? Left pack, left bleed, right bleed. Flow, avionics, APU air. There we go. Retrieve your tablet. Click on the tablet. Alright, click on the tablet. Select the on-demand app. Huh? Oh. Go to exterior. And then disconnect the GPU by clicking the box left of ground power unit. Or just click ground power unit. How about that? And then we didn't have external air connected anyway. Remove wheel chocks and cones by clicking the box. We didn't have wheel chocks and cones out there. I didn't even think about putting them out. So, and there we go. So all those are off, so that's good. And then up to the hydraulic panel here. Set left hydraulic pump and right hydraulic pumps to on. So hydraulics, so left. Well, it was already on, right? Yeah, left and right are already on. So set auxiliary hydraulic pump and hydraulic transfer to on. So this guy on and this guy on as well. Fuel panel, set all fuel pumps with fuel in respective tanks to on. I think we've got fuel in all the tanks. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Let me look at my add-on manager here real quick and see where it put the fuel. No fuel in the center tanks, so centers can go off, but the left and right stay on. There we go. Set transponder TCAS mode to altitude on. So that's down here. And let's zoom down a little bit so we can see where it is. So that's on standby. Altitude off, altitude on. Okay. Verify your anti-ice is still set for the conditions. Windshield anti-ice must be on. So all we need is windshield anti-ice. We're good on that. Lights set beacon to on. There we go. Parking brake. Set parking brake to released or pushed in. And then you would begin the pushback at this point. Alright, so we've got everything ready for pushback. Good times. Miniature Captain Mac logo looks like it's a trumpet. You pipe down there. Alright, air. Select left pack and right pack to off. I think we've already got them off, right? Let's double check up here. So packs, left and right off. So auto would be the on position. You can actually hear it kick in, right? But we need them off right now. Parking brake is engaged. And engine start. So display engine page on the SD. So if you hop down here and you click on engines, which is right here, that's going to pop the engines up on here for us. That's what we're looking for. So left engine start. You're going to pull the left engine start and then set the left engine fuel valve to on and then wait. And then it says continue after left engine start recesses. So where's left engine start? Should be up top here, right? Let's see. Okay, here we go. So it's a FSX system. So we're going to start with the left engine. We're going to left click this to pull it on. Maybe. Right click it to pull it on. Right click. And then set the fuel to on. Left click that one. And then wait. So for whatever reason, these are just showing black when I pop them up. So I'll come down here where you can see a little better. So we can see the pressure coming up. N2 is coming up over here. Let's see if the N1 starts to kick in pretty soon. There we go. There's what's TGT? Not sure on that one. Okay, well you can hear it spooling up. This keeps saying electric and air is blinking at us. Air should be good though, right? There's the N1 starting to come up, so the start's going good. You're funny, AJ. This is the Boeing 717. Mixture of everything, yeah. Okay, so it says wait until left engine start recesses, and what that means is wait until this goes back in, which it did now, and so then we do the same thing for the right engine. So right click, and then hop down here, go ahead and introduce fuel, and then now we wait. Notice that we don't have a green line for our stab trim. I think that's because we don't have that center of gravity set. While that's starting up, let's see if we can figure that out real quick. So go back to initialization. Yeah, zero fuel weight center of gravity is still not set. I'm gonna guess it's not that far off from, let's see, gross weight's 98, zero fuel weight's 87, so it's probably pretty close to the same. I'm gonna put it at 17.5. I'm just guessing. I have no idea where to get it from, so we're gonna put it right there. Excuse me. Yeah. Performance. So do we have V speeds yet? We still have no V speeds, guys. What am I missing here? Thrust limits. Takeoff, EPR 1.5. We're not going to flex or derate. I'm just going to do a normal takeoff. So I don't know. Do I click on it? Nope. That doesn't do anything. Okay, so that's just selecting it. I don't want that, so I'm going to select this one here. We're not going to do a flex temp. And then it just says return to performance mode. So I'm not really sure where we put in our V speeds, guys. Does anybody know? No, this isn't the Cessna 172 tutorial, Roxton. That's funny though. The Cessna 210. You guys have issues. Go to the iPad. Okay, back over to the iPad. What am I looking for on the iPad here? Under status, it's not telling me anything here either. Aircraft state, load statistics, go to approach to get the speeds, takeoff approach to get the speeds. Okay. Down here to the takeoff approach page. Ah, okay. So we need to set some information in here, don't we? I knew I forgot something. Okay. Let's see. Slope and wind. What do we say our wind was? Man, we're looking good, guys. We got 42 people on here watching right now. I hope you guys are having a good time. I know that I am. Wind is 90 at 7 knots. So it's going to be a little crosswind. The slope we know is going to be 0. So let's just put it, we said 7 knots. Probably crosswind, probably about 6 knots is our headwind. And I knew I was going to put it in as a headwind. Outside air temperature is 17 right now, right? Let's double check that real quick. Yeah, 17 degrees Celsius is our outside air temperature. I don't know if you need to put the C in it or not. But we're just going to put 17 and see if it takes that. It does not. So put 17C, and I'll bet it takes that. Yep, there we go. 17 degrees Celsius, and then flaps. Well, this has a dial of flap. Well, this really is like a cross between everything, isn't it? Let's see. Stow. There's probably a chart somewhere you're supposed to dig up, right? Put in the center of gravity and such. That was in the iPad. We already did that though, right? Yeah, that's already in there. So what we need now is just the slats or the flaps. So flap takeoff select, I don't know, flaps 5 maybe. I'm just guessing here, guys. Let's try flaps 5. Flaps 5. And then check and confirm V speeds. There you go. I knew I'd been forgetting something. So V1 is 149, rotate at 156, and V2 at 162. Let's see. Don't press cold and dark. We've come too far. Yeah, you ain't kidding, are you? CG is 18%. So the CG is 18% for... hold on, I was on the right page there. So yeah, the takeoff center of gravity is 18%. I was looking for the zero fuel weight center of gravity. So, but I think we're good now. We've got our V speeds in there, 149, 156, 162. So I think we're good. Let me move to the next page here. Ice protection is good. We're good with that. So air, let's hop up top here now. Left and right packs both go on. There we go. Left bleed and right bleed to auto. There we go. Isolation valve to auto. There it is. And APU air to off. So APU air was up over here, so left click that to off. And then select left gen and right gen to on. This is under electrical here. So here's the left gen on, right gen on. And now we should, let's see, it doesn't tell us to turn the APU off at this point. It just says turn the APU air off. But shouldn't the APU go off as well? I mean, why are we still running the APU, right? So I'm going to right click that to off anyway. And that should be spooling down now. Or maybe it's not. So see, it still shows the APU running full right there. That's interesting, actually. Reset. Huh, that's kind of weird. External power is off. Nope, now external power is off. But APU is not going off for some reason. That's interesting. Let's see. Loving the Airbus A717. You guys are killing me. Hi, Biden. How you doing, buddy? Great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. We're just trying to get things figured out. Okay. Let's see here. So down, that takes us to our taxi checklist. Now, I still find it strange that it never says to turn the APU off. Now, I turned it off, but it still shows that it's running. I don't get that. Either way, we're going to need to set our stabilizer, and it should have told us what to set it to on here, right? Yeah, 4.1 on the stabilizer. So we want to scroll this guy all the way to 4.1. I'm using a button on my yoke. Whoa. Interesting. Okay, it's not letting me go to 4.1. It's kind of weird. Let's try this one time. Nothing. Yeah, for some reason it's going like 4 at a time here. Yeah. Okay, well I guess we're going to do 4.0 then. I'm not sure why it's going a few at a time, but it is, so. Let's see, set flaps to setting the MCDU takeoff approach page. If it's not a predetermined position, you must set it to the dial a flap. Okay, so that's what we're using, is the dial a flap. So what do? We go, I guess, to there, and then that's the dial a flap right there, right? I think that's correct, but I'm not certain. Let's see. Let's decrease this a little bit. Well, I tell you what, this is a lot like the MD-11 in a lot of ways, isn't it? It's a lot like the MD-11. It's interesting when you think about it. This guy can go all the way up to 330, not 440. That was way too high. It goes in 500-foot increments, which is kind of interesting, actually. Okay, so there's 330. Put spoilers in the arm position, so that's shift and tab for me. So they're armed now. Verify the stabilizer trim is setting. It's as close as we're going to get. Excuse me, little cough there. It should be within the green band, which it is, so we're good there at least. Verify the runway you are preparing to take off from is the runway assigned to you by ATC. We're not worried about that. Flaps. Verify flaps are set to the correct setting on the config SD display, which is not this one, is it? Why is the APU still running, guys? That's bugging me right now. We've got the APU turned off, right? APU, that's on, that's off. What am I missing here? Oh, the master switch. Master switch off. There we go. Okay, now the APU is going to spool down, hopefully. Still shows it at 100 for some reason. I wonder if that's a glitch or something. Anyway, click on config real quick and verify that flaps are set properly. So it shows slats extended, but it doesn't show flaps, does it? So, okay, so one more click put it, that should be the dial a flap position, but I'm still not seeing anything on there. It just said, oh, there we go. Flaps, so that's flaps 6 or 5. It's sort of bouncing between the two, isn't it? Let's go right there. See if that helps. Still sort of bouncing between 6 and 5. Hopefully they're not actually moving out there. So that's 6. So that should be 5 there, hopefully. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so flaps are set to 5 now. Okay, moving on here. Takeoff briefing is good. Brake temperature. Verify your brake temperature is within safe limits on the config display. Brake temperature is nothing right now. And flight controls. View the config display and verify. Okay, so this is your standard flight controls check. So full left. Okay. Full right. Good. All the way up. I see nothing. All the way down. So all the way down's working. Why are they sticking? That's disturbing. Where's the yoke at? Pop the yoke back up. Where'd the yoke go? I know I got rid of it, but it should come back, right? There we go. I mean, the yoke's working. Full left, full right's working. Full down worked, but now it's stuck. Come on! I don't have any failures or anything turned on. Oh, you guys, this thing's killing me already. Okay, let's look outside real quick and see if that helps. So, all the way up, all the way down. No, it's not doing anything outside either, is it? Yeah, it's stuck in the down position. Oh, it's moving the trim tabs. That's weird. Anybody know why it's doing that? It's moving in, it looks like it's moving in the opposite direction too. I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense to me, guys. I'm not sure what to do about that. Okay, note, yoke full back will not display green box as the elevator control only becomes alive with sufficient airspeed. Okay, I guess I could have read that, huh? Alright, verify no abnormal alerts displayed on the EAD. A green box will be displayed in the center annunciator on the EAD if your takeoff configuration is proper. Okay. This is the EAD here. I don't see a green box. Maybe because brakes are on? Let's turn the brakes off real quick. Okay, there we go. Green box. Okay. That's what I needed. Set transponder to TARA. There we go. 2 right clicks down there. I'm just going to leave it on 1200. I'm not worried about it right now. And then it says set landing lights, set on landing lights and high intensity lights. That's like takeoff though. That's not. Oh, we're all the way to the before takeoff checklist. That's why. Don't mind me, guys. Whew, boy, that was a long time there to get to that point, huh? All right. AJ, it's saying that it won't do that, so I don't know. I think we're probably good. We're gonna find out if we can't get this bird in the air, right? Okay, I need to put track IR on real quick. Oh. Hold on one second, guys. We got Mephitic is over here on Twitch. How you doing, buddy? Great to have you here. Give me a second to put track IR on. Hold on. Alrighty there. Boy, time's flying by here. Okay, track IR is coming on. Probably won't get a jump at first. There we go. Track IR is on, and we're ready to taxi out here, aren't we? So, parking brakes off, and let's bring in a little bit of thrust here. Start getting this bird moving. Ooh, she gets moving quick too. So, interesting little tidbit about the 717. Delta flies them quite a bit. They have the most out of anybody, apparently worldwide. And it's funny because there was not a high demand for them, so there weren't that many built. Delta has the most of them, and now everybody wants them. So it's kind of funny. Delta does fly them out of Phoenix here, so that's kind of cool. Well, I'll tell you what, it takes no thrust to get going. Once she gets moving, that's it, huh? So it's slowing down a little bit now. Let's just give her just a touch of thrust, maybe? I don't know. Boy, I tell you what, it's the rudders are a little sensitive on the turn there. Oh yeah, it's clear left, Cody. Alright. Looking good here. I don't think I turned the taxi lights on, did I? No, I did not. Go to taxi. There we go. Alright, looking good. And she wants to go to the left there. Probably have just a touch more thrust on the right side. Yeah, it's at 1.02. That tiny little bit. That's one thing about FSX and P3D is asymmetric thrust is really actually simulated very poorly in here. You know, airlines taxi on one engine all the time, and it cannot possibly be that difficult to control an aircraft when it's taxiing on a single engine. But hey, what do I know? Oh, did it neutralize? Oh, good. Well, that's nice at least. Still won't show the full up though, will it? Nope. Oh well. Excuse me. Boy, I got a lot of coughing going on here. Pull engine start switch, N2 rotations, check pneumatic pressure on air page, oil pressurizing fuel switch on. Did we do something wrong there, Nick? Don't mind me taxiing all over the place. Look, this thing's doing 24 knots. I barely had the throttles touched. Goodness gracious. Alright, let's get our landing lights on. And high intensity lights on as well. No traffic on approach, so we're gonna roll right out onto the right out onto the runway here. Hopefully do it without tossing passengers around in the back. So the throttles are all the way off right now, just so you guys know. I got them cut all the way back. So, and we're still picking up speed. So a little bit of brakes here as we come onto the runway. Let's get her lined up here. Boy, this thing turns on a dime, doesn't it? At least on the ground it does. I don't know how it does in the air. A little bit of choppiness there right now.
On runway 07 right.
There's that RAS professional kicking in. Cody was saying he had to purchase it. I never bought it. I think I got it for free with one of my purchases of FS2 Crew. So, okay, bring her a little stop here, and let's finish this before takeoff stuff. So the EAD is good. We've got our green box down there. Transponder is set. Lights are on. Don't mind me with the track IR there. Nose lights are on landing. Left and right ground floodlights need to go off. That's these two over here. Those are off now. Flight attendants, we're not going to talk to them. And then conduct takeoff. So it says your aircraft is ready for takeoff. And then it says use takeoff engine performance rating. Verify takeoff config warning is not heard. Once positive rating is established, set gear to up. And then initial climb, follow the flight director. I'm just kind of, yeah, it's all pretty straightforward stuff. So until we get to the after landing checklist. I don't know, is there a toga switch on this, guys? I don't think there is. In fact, I don't even think there's an auto throttle on this, is there? Or the auto throttle, so FMC speed is probably what you would push, right? Yeah, so this panel is a lot like the MD-11. So FMC or FMS speed profile for your vertical nav, auto flight, but we're not arming the auto flight, which is interesting. Normally you would arm it right now, right? So, and then nav mode right here. Do we arm auto flight? Okay, so it's got the takeoff clamp thing going on, so I guess we move it until we get takeoff thrust. Or we just move it. Okay, well, away we go then. Let's hope we don't crash on the end of the runway because of our elevator. Boy, she's not got a lot of power in her, does she? We're almost to 80 knots. Oh, we're gonna run out of runway here, guys. We're not even at V1 yet. What is going on? Okay. Come on, reverse thrust.
2,000 feet remaining.
Aw, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. I got full brakes on.
1,000 feet remaining.
Oh, come on.
500 feet
Come on.
remaining.
Now I just, oh, for crying out loud.
On taxiway, on taxiway.
What just happened there, you guys? Oh, for goodness sakes. That's just retarded. There's no reverse thrust at all. Where's my reverse? Is there no reverse on this thing? Look at me just flinging around here like a maniac. Wow. Nothing embarrassing about that at all on a live stream, right? I know there's reverse thrust on this aircraft. When I... okay, track IR coming off. So, I still can't get it to stop right now. Like, I've got the brakes on full and we're still moving. For crying out loud. What just happened there? So there was no spoiler deployment. There's the parking brake on. There was no spoiler deployment. What is this? This is autopilot, right? Yeah, I guess there's no toga mode for... There's no auto brakes or anything like that in this thing. So I get that, but Like the reverse thrust, look at my throttles are still forward. Why are my throttles still forward? What is going on? Now they come back. Well, there was the problem right there. Oh, now reverse works. Okay, so clearly you do not. Boy, I feel like an idiot. Clearly you do not hit the auto flight button. So we weren't even getting full thrust. So yeah, we ran off the end of the runway like a bunch of idiots. Oh, good times. Thanks, Greg. I finally figured that out. Don't mind that 717 down there. Oh, okay. Well, it is what it is, guys. I'm a little embarrassed, to be perfectly honest with you, but what are you gonna do, right? Other than taxi back to the end of the runway and try it again. All right, let's get this bird moving. Wow, that was is his landing gear up? Oh no, it's not. Okay. There we go. A little thrust coming in there. Wow. That is still a little embarrassing. Like that was, but again, this is something I would normally not be doing on a camera or a live stream or anything like that, guys. What I normally do is I do a flight like this and I would discover what the problem is. I'd realize, okay, I'm an idiot. You don't push the auto flight button. Again, the flight control panel here is almost identical to the MD-11, right? And so on the MD-11 you do push it. So yeah. I'm not really sure, other than that being a little nuts there. Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, what do we got over here on the comments section? Hit the 2 buttons below autoflight. Yeah, I did that. Thanks, Dog Tag. I appreciate it. Just take off on the taxiway. Shame, shame, shame. Oh, you guys are killing me, man. Brake cooling fans. Are there cooling fans for the brakes? Well, let me turn track IR off here. Are there actual cooling fans for them? Because if there are, I probably need them right now, don't I? Where are the brake cooling fans? Man, my kids are making a lot of noise out there. Yeah, I don't know. I never even turned this MCDU on, did I? This one will go on the flight plan page for now. Try and stay on the taxiway. Just taxi fast and take off, doesn't matter. Oh, you're just messing with me, Jacob? Thanks, man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Oh, we got 51 people watching on here, which I think is the most people that have ever watched one of my live streams. So there's 51 people just watch me overrun the end of the runway. Now this guy, watch, I'll bet he makes a right turn here. Get out of the way, you. Oh, what are you stopping there for? You know what? He's probably stopping there waiting on us. Just go, dude. Oh, you're killing me, man. I mean, I got the crashes and damage thing turned off. I could just plow right through him. Of course they make noise. Thanks a lot, Shivam. I appreciate it. Yeah, it'd be nice if they'd extend the runway, right? Oh, Sully move. Yeah. Use the tablet for what, Sarvesh? You can't. You can use it. Look at this guy. Okay, whatever. And now he's gonna stop. Yep, he just stops. Oh, I'm just gonna stop right here in front of you. There's nowhere for you to go. Okay, we're gonna go right through you, dude. You're an idiot. Stupid AI traffic. No, I don't have True Glass on here, Sarvesh. Yeah, I have ignore crashes on already, Christian, as you probably just saw. Did your daughter get that mouse? No, she didn't get the mouse, Chris. The CRJ 700X live stream. I've been holding off on the CRJ because I've got a couple of friends who fly them for Real World Airline, and I'm trying to get them over here to go through a tutorial with me on camera. So maybe, maybe not. I've been kind of holding off on that. Too late, Chris. I already went through him. Oh my goodness. What a... Oh, that was just craziness right there. The brakes are starting to cool down at least. Oh, that was just terrible. Just what you needed to see. Thanks a lot, Dog Tag. I'm sure there's a lot of folks on here right now who are saying, oh man, yeah, Cat Mac really messed it up there, boy. They're probably super stoked about that, right? Oh, I'm not feeling the love here, guys. Not feeling the love at all. Oh. Alright, track hour coming back on here. A little jump. There we go. Alright, I don't see anybody on approach here. And I don't see anybody on our TCAS. I think we're probably good. So we're going to roll around to the runway here, and we're going to try this again. What is your fuel at? How much was wasted? Probably quite a bit of fuel, but you know what? We're going to give it a shot anyway. And if we don't make it all the way, then well, we're just going to have to suck it up. I don't even know if we're going to make it to landing on this live stream, guys. Not at this rate, anyway. I mean, we're, what, 2 hours into this thing? We haven't even gotten off the ground yet. It's line up and wait, not taxi and hold, or not position and hold. I had a discussion about that actually in the comments section of my YouTube channel. Watching someone else Takeoff tutorial and it says hit auto flight then advanced throttles. I did that, and we were not getting enough thrust. There was not enough thrust, so I'm not going to hit auto flight.
On runway 07 right.
And I wonder if I should take 07 left because there's more runway. Let's see if we can get full thrust here. Oh yeah, that's a lot more thrust than we had last time. Okay, release brakes. Oh yeah, look at the difference. Look at the difference in how fast we're accelerating compared to last time. We barely made it to 100 knots by the end of this runway last time. We were not getting the proper thrust. So we were clearly in the wrong mode or something. Alright, here we go. Oh, goodness gracious. Alright, coming up on V1 now. That's good. Obviously V1 didn't matter on the last run, did it? Because we overran the end of the runway anyway. There's rotate. Up, up, and away. Maybe. Come on. Woo! There we go. Positive rate of climb. Gear coming up.
Stabilizer motion.
Yeah, I put it in motion. Thank you.
Stabilizer motion.
Alright. Alright, guys. We got the gear coming up. Let's get past that first. You know what? I think flaps will be fine for a few minutes. Let's try and keep her straight here. Oh boy, I tell you what, that was something else there, huh? Well, we got her in the air now, guys, so let's follow our flight director and get going here. I'm not going to turn that, see, it's saying reduce the climb thrust. I'm leaving it where it's at right now. That's where I'm going to leave it. Actually, no, let's go ahead and reduce it back a little bit. Let me find my... It's going to be where those purple arrows are, right? So there's climb thrust, give or take a little bit right there. Bring the nose down a little, because the speed's obviously going to drop off pretty quick. Get that speed coming back up. There we go. That's what we want to see. But she likes to kind of lean to the left a little bit. It's kind of obnoxious. I wonder if the fuel's unbalanced because of my ridiculousness there. Okay, let's put this to FMS speed here. Nav, auto flight, and profile. Okay, let's see what that does. So we should be in autopilot now. We're in nav mode. We press nav over here. Pitch mode is the profile right now, so that's sort of like speed mode, right? And it's trying to hold 220 knots, it looks like.
Stabilizer motion.
Now that's annoying that it's telling me stabilizer motion, probably because the flaps are still out, huh? So let's go ahead and bring it to slats only. There we go. And hopefully we won't get any more stabilizer motion warnings, because that's the autopilot doing it now. That's not me. Let me turn track hour off. Little jump here. There we go. What do we got in the comments? Open the aircraft window and throw it. Don't use the tablet for eating French fries. Damage is done. Yeah, thanks. Are you guys talking about how it's all smudged up, the tablet? Yeah, it's actually really obnoxious, isn't it? The flaps kept on 18 until we're where? What do you mean on stand? Oh. Oh, I get you. When you're parked. Okay. Those red, white things under the MCP make me think there's an ejection seat for them. Those are the fire extinguisher handles. Oh, you guys are killing me, man. Alright, let's take a look at our after takeoff. So initial climb, following the flight director. We're good on there. Flaps, we can bring flaps probably all the way up now. Or, well, we brought flaps up. Now we're bringing the slats up. Let's see what that does. Yeah, so we're above slat retraction. You can see that right there. That's slat retraction. Alright, so as long as we're maintaining this speed, we're good. I'm surprised the speed. Okay, there we go. Now it wants to speed up. We're above 10,000. I was too busy talking, so right click these. There we go. Looking good there. Alright, so she's going to pick up speed now. That's what we want. Okay, after takeoff, verify the landing gear handle is in the up and locked position, which it is. Set hydraulic transfer and
Stabilizer motion.
that's annoying. Set hydraulic transfer and auxiliary hydraulic pump to off. So that's all the way up here. So auxiliary to off and transfer to off. Set APU master and APU air to off. Okay, so we were supposed to leave the APU on until we took off. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So I'll remember that when I do the full flight tutorial. So flaps and slats, we've taken care of that. Disarm the spoiler and verify the red band is not visible. So you can see it's still armed. So shift and tab for me is how I have it set up. And let's increase this a little bit so we can see where we're going. And then ensure no abnormal conditions are displayed on the EAD. Everything's looking good right now. And that takes us into our climb checklist. So nose, landing lights, and logo light off above 10,000 feet. I'll just leave the logo light on. I'm not worried about that. Altimeter set to standard above 18,000, which we're still trying to increase speed, so it's going to be a minute before we get there. And then auto flight must be enabled during RVSM. Begins at flight level 290. So you can hand fly up to 290, but then you must go to auto flight according to this. And that is it. And then it talks about the auto flight. So to fly the route entered in your CDU, enable these auto flight modes: FMS speed, which we did by clicking that button there. Nav mode, that's your LNAV there basically, guys. And then profile mode, this one here, which is your vertical or your VNAV. All right. Make sure you have your cruising altitude set in your FCP altitude box. That's right here. And then once you're ready to descend, set the lowest restriction found on the flight plan page, which is going to be just a little bit for us. And that's pretty much the gist of it. It talks about some other auto flight modes. We might get into that in an advanced tutorial, but all I'm getting ready for is the full flight tutorial. So we'll talk about that. Cruise, we're good there, and then that'll leave us ready for descent. So let me organize my mess of pages here. Now that the takeoff is done, we've dropped down to 45 people watching. Let's see. I flew the P3 Orions. How do you make your FSX look so good? That's a long story, Joshua, but it takes some time, some tweaking, and some effort. So so far, Richard, it's not hard to fly, but I did overrun the end of the runway, so obviously there's a lot to learn, right? Let's see. V2 was set. I'm looking over on Twitch right now. Cruise V2 was set in the MCP. The frame rates are terrible on this plane, not well optimized. Well, they're not too bad. I mean, it was smooth enough to see, right? Brace for impact. Alright guys, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hop outside the aircraft for a few minutes and let that cinematic mode play. I need to step out of my office for a minute. I've been at this for a little over 2 hours, so I will be back shortly. You guys, please chat amongst yourselves and give me 5, maybe 10 minutes max, and I'll be back in here to chat with you guys, alright? Alright guys, I'm back. I know you all missed me. You know, so it's pretty crazy. Hold on, I got ATC yapping in my ear. There we go. We had like 45 people on here watching, and then now we're down to like 20. Oh, let's see. I don't... Jacob, are you working on a pilot's license there? Let's go to engines page over here. Actually, status. Let's go to status. Yeah, we're looking good. Everything's looking good. Nav display mode not available, huh? Interesting. Let's go to fuel page. Alright. Well, I think we got enough fuel. I guess we'll find out for sure, won't we? Alright, engine page there. Looking good on that. Alright, guys. Let's see here. Let me refresh my browser over here on this other computer. See what we got going on over here. Okay, so we got 5 folks watching on Twitch. Well, nope, I lied. It's 3 apparently. We got 22 watching over here on YouTube. That's fantastic. I appreciate everybody who's joined me so far. I'm having a good time with this one, guys. It's really funny. You know, it's a little embarrassing to, you know, overrun the end of the runway and stuff like that. But I mean, that's what this whole flight is about, is me learning to fly this aircraft so that I can do the full flight tutorial on it. And so, you know, pretty cool actually. You know, that you guys get an opportunity to see that. I hope that you guys are enjoying it. Let's see what we got going on here. Progress page. Estimated to have 7.4 on board, 7,000 pounds on board when we get there, so shouldn't be a problem. And that's all we have for checking fuel. So I'm sorry, estimated 6.4 on board when we arrive, so that should be fine. Flight plan page over here. Getting out to Judith here. Top of descent's going to be a little ways out, so yeah. Looking pretty good. I wonder, does this show an arrow for top of descent? So down here it's saying we got Mohawk, then Hogs, and then that takes us to top of climb, and then the next thing it shows is top of descent, which is not that far after, but I'm not seeing that on the, why is that showing black when I pop it up? I'm not seeing that on my nav display here. Ooh, that sucker moves quick, huh? Oh, there it is. Okay, so top of climb's right up here, and then top of descent's going to be right there, right? Yep, should be. Okay, no problem there. Fantastic. Okay, so let's go over here to our smudged up smudged up EFB here, and let's see. It's going to be the, let's go down. There we go. Lucky One RNAV. And we are coming in from where again? Oops, wrong button. We're coming in after Hogs. So let me zoom this in a little bit. And let's figure out where Hogs is at. I'll bet it's down here. Yep, there we go. So we're going to come in out here at Hogs, and then it should be Manners, Cibola, Karma, it looks like, and then what is that? SOF2? Or SOP2 maybe, and then Campo, Helix, and then Jack, Aztec, Jeeves, and then to Lucky, and then to Lindy from there, and then from Lindy we're going to transition on to our approach.
Altitude.
That's just telling us that we're almost to our altitude. Excuse me. Okay. Let's see. What's up, AJ? VABB-VIDP. I don't know what you're talking about. Got radials, but it's a question like, how long will it take you to get from A to B at this speed with this wind? 2, 3, 4, or 5 minutes. Oh yeah, so you just need to figure out what your true airspeed is, Jacob. Okay, let's put this back over on this page. So this is our approach. You know what, let's try the other view here, and we'll just zoom it in a little bit. Okay, so you can see this was an old Lido chart that I have here, and then the new chart, the other chart that I have on here is the Jeppesen chart. So let's do that one there, and then we'll rotate it this way. There we go. Zoom it in, because that's what we're used to using now. So the ATIS is going to be 134.8 for us. SoCal approach coming from the east, 124.35. Lindbergh Tower on 118.3. Ground on 123.9. Localizer is 110.9 with a final approach course 275 degrees. Minimum altitude at Rebo is 2,000 feet. Minimum decision altitude 680 feet. Let me put that in right now because I'll probably forget. So that's radio. There we go. Barrow. So what did we say it was? 680 feet. That's our minimum. So right now it's on 200. So let's scroll that up to 680. Well, I tell you what, these allergies have been kicking my butt for weeks now. Okay, 680 feet. So that's going to be our minimums there. Airport elevation 17 feet. If we have to execute a missed approach, we're going to climb 2,500 feet on heading 275. Outbound on the MZB VOR radial 255 to CCADE, CCADE, I guess. Intersection, which is 12.3 miles out, and hold. And you can see how that looks. So it's basically straight out here. And then you've got your little box in here that shows you're holding. If we look at our profile view here, so coming in out at Vita we need to be at 4,000 feet, O'Kane at 3,600, CJHI at 2,700. So let's see if this will actually pop up for us. It will not. Alright, so let's see, plus 5,000, CIJHI 2,700, so it's definitely missing some waypoints in there, but 2,700 at, yep, so that's good, and then Rebo's 2,000, and then in from there. And this is a hand-flown approach, guys. This is not a ILS approach by any means. So minimum runway visual range is 1 3/4 of a mile for this approach, and I think that's pretty much the gist of it. So I'm going to leave it right about here so that I can kind of, let's zoom it out just a tiny bit. That way I can kind of see my profile view versus my plan view. And let's see, top of descent's just about 40 nautical miles out, so we're looking pretty good. Oh, you want a live stream? You want a live stream from VABB to VIDP? Send me an email, AJ. We'll check it out. Let me go back over here real quick. Actually, no, I'm gonna go down here. There were a bunch of minimum altitudes, but it looks like for us, it's not really showing them. So I'm just gonna go with Reboot at 2,000 for our descent. And so let's start taking a look at our descent procedures here. So altimeters, we never actually changed them, so we need to change our altimeters. They should be at standard right now, right? So right click them. Okay, let me move the yoke out of the way. I don't mind having it there now, but that way you can see it's at 299.2, and of course that decreased our altitude a little bit. It's coming up to 330 now. So those will change again when we go below transition altitude. Set minimums by twisting the minimums knob. We just did that. Okay, we need to go to the takeoff approach page. I apologize for the allergy stuff. And let's see, we're going to land flaps 40 extended. So that's our approach speed is going to be 133, and our VREF is going to be 128. So there we go. That takes care of our approach information, our landing data. Approach briefing's already been, we just took care of that. So, and then lights are, you know, at the right point, stuff like that. Set the hydraulic transfer and auxiliary, try this again. The auxiliary hydraulic pump to on when you get below 10,000 feet AGL. So I got to try and remember once we start our descent to change those to on once we get below 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and adjust this now, and it shouldn't do anything at the moment. Okay, so down to 2,000 for Reboot. There we go. And then we should, if I'm not mistaken, we hit profile again. So if you look on here, it says profile to 2,000, hold at 33. So we'll hit profile when we're ready to start our descent. Now, if I'm wrong about that, somebody let me know before we get to top of descent, okay? Hey, Jacob, thank you very much for joining us, man. I really appreciate it, okay? Take care of yourself, and I hope to see you on here again. What? Said to you on Mac Air that I'd already flown it, and it asked me how it was. I'm not sure what you're talking about, AJ. I think you're messing with me, though. Richard, actually, so check this out. I was going to do the full flight tutorial for the 757 for P3D version 4 from Captain Sim this weekend, and I was going to do it after I did the full flight tutorial for this aircraft. And so what happened is, or what's happening right now is, I'm actually really enjoying doing this live stream beforehand, giving you guys an opportunity to see behind the scenes. And I need to do a flight in the 757 first anyway, because I haven't flown in a little while. So I'm probably going to live stream a flight in the Captain Sim 757 version 3 maybe tomorrow, and then either tomorrow or the next day I'm going to put together both of the full flight tutorials for the Boeing 717 and the Boeing 757, and then you should see those up on my YouTube channel within the next few days. So hopefully that answers your question. Cruz, I probably destroyed all of the runway lights, the approach lights. Good times, guys. Okay, so coming up pretty close to the top of the descent here. Yeah, still got about 18 miles to go, so we'll see how that comes out. I'm a huge fan of the 757, Richard, and I'm super excited about having access to the Captain Sim 757. You know, it's funny, this weird little thing, I'll talk about it when I do my actual full flight tutorial too, but you know, Captain Sim put out a thing. They asked everybody, hey, who would be willing to buy a beta version of this aircraft? And like 98% of people said, yeah, I'd be all about it, be all for it. And then Captain Sim, you know, they finished their beta testing and went ahead and released a version 1.0 and said, hey, we know it needs quite a bit of work still, but we're going to release it as a 1.0 instead of beta. And now everybody's ticked off that they released it as 1.0. I don't get that. So oh, AJ, no. You told me you were live streaming, and I was asking you how your live stream went. Didn't you say you were? Didn't you send me a message and say you were live streaming? Do I prefer FSX or Prepared 3D? You know what, Yuri's, I prefer Prepared 3D right now. I really do, especially version 4. But I gotta tell you, I started fooling around a little bit with X-Plane 11, and I'm pretty impressed. So. Yeah, didn't you do a live stream, AJ? I think that's what I was talking about. Okay, coming up on top of the descent here shortly. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we hit profile like 5 nautical miles before or something, right? Okay, that's... oh, it just froze on me. Oh, there we go. Whoo! I thought we were going to freeze completely. Oh, that's as far as it goes as the 10. So, yeah, I think we can hit the profile now. Can't we? I think so. Let's try it.
Altitude.
Okay. Maybe right click. Idle clamp. Profile. So now it's going to profile to 6,000. I'm not sure why it shows 6,000, but you see that the descent is starting extremely slow. In fact, we're barely descending right now. And now we're starting to descend at a faster rate because we weren't really at the descent point yet. So that seemed to work out fine. So, Yuri's, actually, I just found out myself today, if you go to TFDi's website, you can get the beta version of this aircraft for Prepared 3D version 4 for free. If you opt into their beta testing, you get a free version of this aircraft for Prepared 3D version 4. So expect that you're going to have some issues because it is beta, but it's free, so you can't really complain when you get free, right? Okay, I'll tell you what, AJ, do me a favor, send me a message over at Mac Air. In fact, no, don't do that. Go into the forums, into my little section in the forums, and request the flight. Put it in as a flight request, and specifically put it there that you'd like to see it as a live stream. Please do that. Alright. Let's see. Okay, so we're on our descent here now, guys. Let's see, seatbelt signs on. We need to try to remember, I need to try to remember, that we need to turn the hydraulic transfer and auxiliary hydraulic pumps to on once we get below 10,000 feet. So if I forget, you guys remind me, okay? Just taking a look at our approach procedures, just kind of prepping myself in advance here. Verify your navigation and flight instruments are ready. They are for the most part. Let's see, if you've selected an ILS, we haven't, so I'm not worried about that. But if you're flying an ILS on this, arm the auto land system by clicking AFS approach land mode. So that would be this guy right here. So the approach land, that's your ILS switch there for the autopilot. All right. At any time on the approach, given speed is below SR, flap set to position 0, slats extended. Okay, so yeah, so there's your gear extension speed there. Flap extension speed will be below that. So what it's saying is, when your speed gets below the slats retracted speed, you got to set the flaps position to 0, which extends the flaps. Everybody tracking on that? Let's see. At any time on the approach, when the speed is below FR, which is flaps retracted, then you start to incrementally. Yeah, that's basic. That's basic flying right there, right? You did what and it got deleted, dog tag? What are you talking about? Oh, what, did you put in a request in the forums and it got deleted? No. No, if it got deleted, it would have been... I'm the only one who deletes anything in there. If it got deleted, it would have been me, and it would have been a mistake. Yuri's, my recommendation would depend on your system. What kind of system you got? Do me a favor, dog tag, for you to fly from... That's not deleted. That's still in there. That didn't get deleted. Let me do... the sound's gonna go quiet. I'm gonna look that up on the forums right now. That didn't get deleted. It better not have. If it got deleted, it wasn't me. Nobody's supposed to touch those as far as an administrator except for me. Flight requests. Yakima to Anchorage. Since you're already in Yakima, a -8 or a 737. It's still in there. It's not deleted. What are you talking about? Oh, really, TK? It kept crashing with the... You talking about the Captain Sim? What was causing the crash, do you know? Like, what were you doing that when it crashed each time? Yeah, it's the first one on page 3, dog tag. No, so, okay, you're on Windows, Yuri's. What I mean is, what do you have? What is your processor and your graphics card? How much RAM do you have, and so on? Yeah, I'll belay your last, dog tag. Yeah, I haven't gotten to that one yet. I'm actually considering doing it in a -8, but it's a little on a backlog because somebody else requested a -8. So I picked up the Majestic Q400 Pro for P3D. It was because I had the Pro for FSX. The Pro for P3D was only 23 bucks. So yeah, I jumped on that. So I'm probably going to do... Another guy requested a flight in the -8. It was his daughter's first ever commercial flight. So I'm going to do that one first once I refresh myself in the Q400, and then I'll do your flight probably in the Q400. I haven't decided yet. I might do it in the 737, depends on how far it is. Oh goodness. Irish Gaming Guys is back over on Twitch. Hey, just curious, Irish, are you hosting this one on your Twitch channel as well? You don't have to. I'm just curious, because if you are, I didn't see it jump up because I was so busy doing other stuff like overrunning the end of the runway.
Traffic.
Traffic. Where's he at? Where's he at? 10 miles ahead. Climbing. I don't see him. You guys see him? I'm not seeing him. Ah, he's gone already. He's already too high. Either way. Okay. Alright, so we're looking good. I love that this is right here. It's not blatantly in your way, but you kind of have the view, so I can glance at it if I need to. That's not too bad. And then if I needed to, I could zoom it in a little bit more, right? So that I can see, you know, my altitudes, 4,000, 3,600, 2,700, and so on. So that's nice. I like that. So I got Orbix North America the other day, and I put it in my in P3D, and my frame rates went to crap. And you know, I was really disappointed with it because I loaded in Phoenix and it showed everything around Phoenix green. I got news for you people, there ain't anything green around Phoenix. As you were transitioning on your, so it just, you didn't do anything specific and then it crashed, TK? It just suddenly crashed to desktop all of a sudden? AJ, co-pilot's off. Yeah, AJ usually acts as my co-pilot because he knows something about the airplanes, but he didn't know anything about this one, so I'm on my own is what he's saying. GTX 970, 8 gigs of RAM. Yeah, going to 16 gigs won't hurt. So here's what I would say, Yuri's. I would say you could be torn between P3D version 4 or X-Plane. I think that P3D is a little more user-friendly because it's based off the FSX format, and most people are more familiar with that, whereas X-Plane is a little bit more of a learning curve. Oh, I need to throw some drag in here. Hold on, guys. So my recommendation, Yuri's, would be to go with P3D version 4. Oh boy, that drag works on this airplane. Oh, look at that. Alright, coming up, we're just below 11,000 feet here now, guys. See, that's one thing I always dislike, is I've got my speed brakes out because it's telling me to add drag, but then the auto throttles start kicking in and trying to speed the airplane up. That's kind of silly to me. See, there they are coming in. It's telling me to add drag, though. Alright, we're about where we need to be. So, let's let her slow down the rest of the way on her own. We've already taken a look at our approach stuff. For landing, once speed is below gear extension, set the landing gear handle and it down. Well, we're not going to do that right now. We are below slats extended, though, aren't we? So let's get those out. Alright, so slats are getting extended now. Flaps, spoilers into arm position. Okay, I think we're good to go here, guys. And of course I have to fly this approach by hand, so that should be fun. What's the green thing on the bottom right? Oh yeah, that's my FPS, AJ. X-Plane has a better flight dynamics model than P3D does, Yuri's. It's a substantially better flight dynamics model. P3D is not bad, but X-Plane's flight dynamics model is better. Let me get these landing lights on real quick. Out to extended, and then I didn't forget the hydraulics, the transfer and the auxiliary both need to go on. So there we go. So as far as flight dynamics, it's better. X-Plane looks fantastic too out of the box. So Dogtag thinks P3D version 4. I think AJ's got the right idea. You might be best off starting off with P3D, but it really depends on what you're looking for. You know, X-Plane's got a free trial mode, so why don't you try downloading X-Plane 11 and check out the free trial mode and try to tweak it a little and see what you come up with and see if you like it, and if not, then take a run at P3D version 4. Yes and no, Dogtag, so I kind of have to because it's not an ILS, but I'd rather fly it by hand anyway, so I like hand flying, so we're going to see how that goes. 110.9, we need to set that down here in our nav radios for the localizer, right? So these are VHF, so it's got to be in here. So where's nav radio? Nav radio 110.9, and what was our final approach course? 275. Yep, 110.9 and 275. 110.9/275, which is probably going to be off by a degree, but that's alright. So that takes care of our radios there. Let's go back to our approach. So again, 133 is our approach and 128 is our landing speed. Coming up on Lucky here, it says no glide slope, which it should continue to say because there's no glide slope on this side. So we will go ahead and intercept the localizer, and it'll still be the same button. It'll be the approach land button, but it'll stay on profile mode as far as vertical speed because there's no glide slope.
Altitude.
So it's going to hold at 6,000, but you see it still says a profile to 2,000 there. And the reason it's doing that is if we hop down here and look at our flight plan page, you can see Lucky we need to be at 6,000, Lindy at 5,000, CIJ high, whatever, is 2,700, Revo is 2,000. So it should automatically continue to profile to 5,000 when it's appropriate to do so. And it's telling us to add drag again, so let's go and bring in a little drag. Not much. Because the drag really works on this aircraft, I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay, so profile alert, so now it's going to profile to 5,000, right? And it's telling us we can go flaps 18 at this point. So let's go ahead and, that's going to put us at...
Speed brake.
Yeah, I know, speed brake's up
Speed
intentionally.
Speed brake.
Go ahead and turn it off. Obviously it doesn't like having the speed brake out once you go to that next flap setting. Alright, so our flap setting right now is on the dial a flap setting, guys.
Altitude.
Which is at 5 right now, and that's fine. And we could change that actually just by dialing the flaps further, right? So if I wanted to, if I want a little more drag here, I can dial the flaps up a little further. And you see that handle moving as I do that? So that's adding more flaps in there. So that's kind of cool about the dial a flap there. Now it wants to increase speed. I have no idea why. You see that? It just jumped to 245 for some reason. So there must have been a speed restriction in here, and now it doesn't want to do it. So Lindy says 210. Maybe it's the flap setting? So let's go ahead and set it to flaps 18 now. And maybe it'll slow back down. So I have flown this approach before. It is a little difficult. Especially in an airplane I'm not used to flying. High speed protection is kicking in, see? Why is it doing that? Why is the speed at 245 when it's saying at Lindy it needs to be at 210? So why would it be 245 when we're past Lindy? 217. Yeah, that's not making sense. Let's try... Okay, I'm going to take control of the speed. Because it should be way down here right now at 210, but it's still trying to. There we go, 210. Slow down, you. That's weird, isn't it? Okay, left click it, see if that helps. Nope, it keeps trying to speed up. If I right click it, it's setting that. If I go to FMC speed, now it wants to go to 145.
Altitude.
Okay, this thing's on its own program right now. I have no idea why it's doing this. We're slow enough. Let's get the gear down. That'll help slow us down too. Okay, let's go ahead and hit the approach land. It should intercept the localizer, hopefully. Alright, track higher coming on, little jump here. Oh, there we go. It's a shame we don't have more people watching because I'm about to make a disaster of this landing probably. Alright. Next flap setting coming in. Looking good. Next. And then the next one will be 40, which we could already go to, so let's go ahead and go to flaps 40. I don't know why it's telling me to add drag. I don't need to add drag, I can tell you that for sure. Go ahead and arm the spoilers.
Altitude.
There we go, spoilers are armed. We're definitely too high right now. Not by much though. Okay, autopilot's gonna have to come off here in a second. Auto throttle will stay on.
Autopilot. Autopilot.
There we go.
Autopilot. Autopilot. Autopilot.
There we go. Had to click that button to turn it off. Alright, we can't see squat.
Stabilizer motion.
Okay, we're crossing
Stabilizer
Rebu
motion.
now. We're way too low. Well, not way too low, but we're too low. Now we're too high. That didn't take long, did it? Alright, here we go. Alright, rolling the thrust back here. There we go. Now we're getting where we want to be. What is it doing? Alright, looking pretty good, not too bad here, guys. Rated descent's a little high, but we're also a little high on the approach here. So as we come onto the glide slope, I don't know why it keeps wanting to go to the left here.
1,000.
Okay. Alright, yeah, we're just a little high. You can see we've got 3 white.
Minimums.
Not too shabby though, not too shabby.
Flaps.
Minimums.
What are you talking about? Flaps and slats? They're all the way out.
Stabilizer motion.
27.
Alright. Other than the fact that I'm a little wobbly
Stabilizer motion.
and we're a little
400.
fast, we're not too bad.
300.
Too low. Terrain.
Unstable. Unstable.
What are you talking about?
200.
I'm on approach here. I can get the unstable because I'm kind of flopping around a little, but why am I getting a terrain warning? Got too low, too slow there. There we go. That's where we want to be, right there. Is there an airplane on the runway? There it is.
100.
What is he doing? We're landing. Don't care. He's going to go right over the top of us.
50. 40. 30. 20.
Whoa!
Bank angle. Bank angle.
What the heck just happened? Oh.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
You guys see that? What the heck?
4,000.
What was
feet
that?
Remaining.
Oh.
3,000 feet.
What
remaining.
was that? Was that? Wow. I think that was I think that was wake turbulence. Everybody's laughing at me. Oh my god. That was terrible. What the heck? That was just ludicrous right there. That was absolutely ridiculous. Okay, here's one for you. I have, you know what? I probably deactivated it. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Wow. Just wow. That was something else. Okay, let me bring it to a stop here, and let me try to use the playback function that Chase Plane has. Track IR coming off here. Let's bring her to a stop, and I just want to see what happened. Obviously, we shouldn't have landed. There was an airplane coming the other way. So for anybody who's, you know, getting upset right now, saying, you know, you shouldn't have landed, whatever. Yeah, I know. Oh, come on. There we go. I know we shouldn't have. You're right. We shouldn't have landed. But this is just for me to learn the aircraft. But let me go into the replay function here, and let me. How far back are we here? Okay, so obviously we're airborne again. It's reloading scenery and all that stuff. I'm gonna speed this up though. So the replay rate is at 8 right now.
Cabin altitude. Cabin altitude.
Don't mind the warnings. It's because I'm doing the replay mode here. I'm just trying to change this so that I can actually see where the thing is at. There we go. So when I do that, it's gonna pause, and that's alright. That was a terrible approach and landing. Okay, let's let the scenery load in real quick. And then once the scenery loads back in here, so I've got I think it's Fly Tampa maybe. I've got their add-on, but I think I have it turned off right now because I don't fly in FSX very much anymore. So I probably have it turned off, which is why the scenery is actually default, which looks kind of crummy, of course. But okay, we're about loaded in here. Let's go ahead and press play.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
And
Don't
it's
sink.
going to act all crazy right now
Don't sink.
because the flaps aren't set up right and all that stuff, and that's just because It's
Approaching
going with
minimum.
the actual condition of the aircraft vice what's going on in the replay.
Minimum.
So let's jump outside and see what this looks like. That was a little. That was crazy.
27.
Yeah, 2018 blooper reel. No kidding.
Unstable. Unstable.
Yeah. It wasn't that unstable. It's kind of a terrible view. It'd be nice for it to change here. Oh, I can change it actually. There we go. There's a decent view. So I had to bring in some thrust there because I was too slow. Too low and too slow. And then it should show the other aircraft here. It's not even going to show it. It didn't record the AI traffic. Wow. Why did it just freeze up right there? Well, that's a shame. Back up a little bit. Okay, let's try this again. It's like frozen right now. There we go. Come on, knock it off. Well, that's ridiculous. Yeah, that's literally a slideshow. I guess we're not going to get to see it. Maybe we will. So we know the aircraft took off right over the top of me, so it had to have been wake turbulence. So we're looking good, looking good, looking good. Oh, what was that? Oh. Look, the spoilers didn't deploy or anything. Landing rate plus 1,056 feet per minute.
4,000.
Oh yeah,
remaining.
oh yeah, that killed everybody on board. That killed everybody on board.
3,000 feet remaining.
Alright, you're done talking. Alright, so you have to fast forward this to the end. Otherwise it really goes nuts when you so if I don't fast forward it like this, then it'll like lose its mind. It's got to get to the end. And then we hit stop. Shrink that down, and then it pauses it. Oh yeah, see, it goes all nuts. Oh, stop! What are you doing? You're killing me. What is going on? Okay, we're done here. This is ridiculous. Okay, park and brake on, please. Please, park and brake on. There we go. Okay, let me shrink this down here. This thing's going all nuts. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. After landing, set spoilers to retracted, flaps to up. We've taken care of that, so both of those are good. These things are bouncing around like crazy. This thing's like screaming at me. What are you doing? APU master is supposed to go on and then start on. So, let's see. On. There we go. Start. We should have done that already. Lights to off. We didn't do that, of course, because I was too busy farting around. So, turn those off. Come on, get out of the way. That one can go off now as well. High intensity lights can go off. Logo light can go off. We'll leave the others on for the moment. Supposed to turn these two on, and then for our shutdown procedure, parking brake needs to be engaged. Connect the GPU or turn on the APU. So we've got the APU spinning up right now. We'll just go with that. And then once it's done spinning up, we'll get the little light will pop on up here, and we'll turn that on. And then left and right engine fuel valves to off. There, that's on now. So now we're on the APU. So except we need to leave the right aft on for the APU. So these will go off. That one will stay on. Beacon lights off. There we go. Beacon lights off. Nose lights off. Left and right floodlights now go off. Seatbelt sign to off. There we go. There we go. Set auxiliary hydraulic pump to off and hydraulic transfer off. So that's up here. So auxiliary off and a transfer off. Set left and right bleeds to off. There we go. Fuel panel, if APU is on, leave the right F pump on, set all fuel. Oh, I know what I did. I'm an idiot. So when it was talking about fuel valves, I was thinking of fuel pumps. But no, fuel valves are these two guys down here. So for some reason I'm in the seat all of a sudden. The view was fine before and now it's not. That's obnoxious to me. Okay, those are off, and then APU will go off, ice protection go off, and then securing the aircraft, it would just be the IRS is off and the power coming off and all that stuff, which we're not going to do right now. I'll do all of that when I do the full flight tutorial. So, there's a nice view to start off. That's going to wrap it up for this one, folks. Where's the airplane at? Oh, goodness. The other side of the building, right? Where is the airplane? There it is. Goodness gracious. Can't even find the thing. Oh, it's like in the building. Oh yeah, we're inside the building. There's the problem. Yeah, we're in the building here, guys. There we go. Yeah, see, we're inside the terminal. That's fantastic. That's just brutal. Okay, so quite the interesting live stream there, guys. I had a lot of fun with it, actually. You know, sometimes you just again, the whole point of this one is to learn the airplane. It's, you know, you shouldn't do the landing with an airplane going over the top of you. Obviously, that was stupid. But you know, in the real world, of course, you wouldn't do that, and you'd be using ATC, which I'm hoping to get a good ATC program here pretty soon. So. You know, if you guys have some suggestions, let me know. But yeah, hey, take care, Richard. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, new way to board there, right, Chris? I don't know about a tough year, Shivam. I think it's going to be fun, is what I think. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, that default scenery is pretty bad, isn't it? Alright, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. I had a lot of fun, though. Thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it. At one point, we had over 50 people watching. That's a lot of fun, and I think that's fantastic. So, do me a favor, guys, if you haven't done so, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down there. We're well over 5,600 subscribers now. I appreciate everyone. I appreciate all the support. Give another thank you to Shivam and to Captain United there. Both of them are sponsors of the channel. I really appreciate their support as well. And all of you guys are just fantastic. All of my subscribers, you guys are awesome. I love you guys. You guys are fantastic. So, Roxon, take care, man. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope all of you guys had a really good time. I most certainly did. And I look forward to the next one. So until then, as always, guys, keep the blue side up, unless otherwise instructed by ATC. God bless you all. AJ, hit me up in the chat, and have a fantastic day.